Just tweeted out the Bigfoot pictures on Twitter. All right. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Paranormal Central, broadcasting live from Central California with your hosts Jeffrey Gonzalez and Alan Thomas. Broadcasting video worldwide at paranormalcentral.net and broadcasting audio on the Dark Matter Network at artbell.com. Are you ready to witness something you cannot explain?
Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Paranormal Central, broadcasting live from the bottom left-hand corner of the Nevada Triangle in a city called Fresno, California. Welcome, my name is Jeffrey Gonzalez. I am your host with my co-host sitting to the right of me. That would be the left of you, Mr. Alan Thomas.
Hi everyone, and I want to name off my grandkids.
They're going to be here all night, dude. All night.
Only the ones in Indiana, Colton, Brooklyn, Autumn, Summer. Hi guys.
And then you got 50 more to go, but we're going to stop right there.
I am stopping right there. I haven't seen him in a long time, but I told him I would say hello.
Right on. So, all right. Thank you very much for tuning in, wherever you may be. If you're watching us right now on live stream, well, then you're looking at us live. We have a show on Sundays at 6 o'clock p.m. If you're listening to us right now on the rewind, then you can always go back on Sundays and listen to us or watch us at live stream, or go to paranormalcentral.net and catch us there. We are also broadcasting audio to the Dark Matter Digital Network. That would be the artbell.com website. Yes, they are broadcasting us live worldwide on their servers. So you got the best of both worlds on live stream and on the digital network. That would be the Dark Matter Digital Network, to be exact. Thank you very much, Keith and Art Bell, for allowing us to be part of your company. Appreciate it like you wouldn't believe.
Yes, we do.
All right, so for all those
privileged.
Yes, so this is your first time. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Wherever you've been, we've been doing this for 8 years. I'm also the founder of a group called the Sanger Paranormal Society. Have been investigating the paranormal for over 13 years. So we're just not up here talking about it. We actually live it. We're out there investigating. We're up there in the mountains looking for Bigfoot, sky watching, looking for unidentified flying objects, and spending the nights in some spooky homes and spooky businesses so we can catch evidence to show you here on live stream, which we have done in the past. All right, so great show tonight. Another great show. I don't know what else to tell you, but every Sunday we have great shows. Last Sunday, if you were here, we had a unknown caller. Let's just say he was a smoking man. Let's talk a little bit about that before we call Danny. This was our first time doing anything like this at all. When usually what we talk about on here is usually the fun stuff, the paranormal stuff, the Bigfoot, the ghost, the things that go boo and scare you, and all that kind of stuff. But we also talk about conspiracy theories. All right. And last week, we had the chance to put somebody on the air that we thought might be an interest to a lot of you out there. And we took a shot, and we put him on. And if you watched our show last week, he went by the Smoking Man. All right. Before we put him on last week, he sent us a lot of stuff via web or email of his background.
So we could check him out.
So we can check him out.
Yeah.
Okay. We actually talked to him in person the week before, and he was telling us a bunch of stuff, and we were looking at it and we were going, okay, cool. I think our audience would enjoy listening to this stuff. And so that's why we put him on. What happened is a lot of people, when you watch other shows, you have people who come on and they don't hide who they are. And they pretty much tell you who they are, and they give you specifics. Sometimes yes, and sometimes don't. This guy here couldn't give you specifics at the present time because I wanted him to introduce himself to the world, to the Paranormal Central fans. And what he wanted to do was to Skype in, which he did. Now, right now we have 2 computers going on in here, okay? And one computer, the laptop that's on over there near Ellen, he is sending the audio to the Dark Matter Digital Network via Skype. And that's how they're getting our audio and pumping it through their system, to the servers. So what and I didn't have another computer to go Skype. So what I did is I used my cell phone and a Skype app. And that's how I called the Smoky Man, through the Skype app on my cell phone. It was wireless. It wasn't hardwired like, Art Bell's, audio is. So there was a lag time, and it just didn't sound right. So a lot of people were saying, he sounds drunk. He just didn't sound right. And also, I added some effects onto the voice. So that didn't help as well. So he responded back on Monday, because he was reading a lot of the comments, especially on live stream, how people were just dumping on him. I mean, you guys were just letting him have it, not only on live stream, but on YouTube as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sadly.
But that was one of our most watched episodes ever in the history of Paranormal
and the
Central.
Most commented.
Yes.
And,
A lot of people enjoyed what he had to say. You had to catch the stuff that he said that made sense, like the Jade Helm, and the reason why Skynet was put together is because, and I don't know if you caught that or not, but there was other things that he said that I go, whoa, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay? And if you caught it, well, then you caught it. Congratulations. But, for those people who wanted him to spill it right there and then and get on with it and stop beating around the bush, those are the guys who let him have it. Now, he sent over he said something on his Facebook page wall, and he tagged Ellen and myself with it. And right now, what I want to do is I want to show you that, but it's going to exclude his name, so that way you can see what he said. And I want you guys to see it. And I'm going to read it to you, all of you guys that are on the Dark Matter Digital Network. But here it is. And this is what he said. Well, I know one thing. I owe a great apology, no excuses, to 2 good men who have a radio show. While everyone knows I do not drink when doing an interview, it sure sounded like I was. I also, by trying to be clear and honest after listening to it this afternoon, I was super boring. Also, so in my public who know me, I have to make a very public apology to them. Jeffrey Gonzalez and his co-host, Alan. Let the bad comments stay. I deserve them. I hope you accept my heartfelt apology. Okay, so he said this. How do I get out of this? Boom. And, after he said that, it's like, wow. It took a lot for him to say that. There's other stuff that he has that he wishes to let everybody know. And I think we're going to have him on again, but not today. All right, we're going to let that go for a while. If you guys didn't listen to last week's show, then go back and listen to it. There are some things that he says in there that you guys really have to pay attention to. Mm-hmm. All right, you do.
And you probably should write down some of the things he said and go and Google it, because it's important.
Yeah,
real important.
Now that was one of the comments that people said, was that, he was just saying stuff and he said, go Google it, go Google it, go Google it. Well, those things that he was announcing to everybody on the show, you probably have never heard. And that's why I wanted you to go and do research on that particular name of, a software or whatever. All right. And that's what he meant by that. So,
Yeah, I mean, if he would have like tried to explain everything, I mean, we would be stuck right there for an hour,
for a long time.
Yeah, it's easier to Google it and you read it, and then later on we'll talk about it.
Right. So, excuse me. So we're gonna bring him on again, but this time, later on in the future, he's gonna get down to the nitty gritty and get to the point and just give us stuff that hopefully will blow you away the next time. All right. So, like I said, that was one of our biggest shows, only because of the numbers. It was wow.
Yep, off the hook.
Off the hook, freaking numbers. So, so like I said, we're going to bring him on again. I know I have a feeling he's listening. And Smoking Man, be cool.
Yeah.
This time we'll bring in another laptop, so we're gonna have 3 computers going on here. I have 100 meg internet capability, so another laptop is not gonna hurt it. And we'll bring you in, so that way we'll hardwire your voice in, so that way there's no lag time and ins and outs on your voice where it's gonna make you sound like you're drunk. So hopefully that will take care of the problem. So, all right. Tonight we have a lot of cool stuff that we're going to talk about. We're also going to have somebody that we're going to call that lives east of Fresno, and he has been up in the mountains, and he is going to basically spill the beans on Bigfoot. Yes, I'm just going to let him talk. He doesn't know who we are, didn't know who we were at the time. He typed in Sanger or Paranormal Bigfoot or something, and Sanger Paranormal came up. He's not a friend of mine on Facebook as of when he called me. And he didn't know who we were at all. He just called me and just said, hey, I just want to talk to somebody, about Bigfoot. Don't laugh at me because the stuff I'm going to tell you sounds far-fetched and sounds fantasy. But I am going to tell you what's been going on with me and my friends when we go hiking and camping in these certain areas, and I want to take you there. And I said, wow, awesome. And he told me a lot of stuff that was happening, and it's like it fits right in there with what's going on just east of Fresno. So we're going to call him after we talk to Danny. And for all those who don't know, Danny Valderrama is our Bigfoot reporter, has been for a long time, and is part of the team. He is going to give us the 2 cents on Bigfoot for the past week. So we're going to get him on the line right now. Let's go ahead and get a hold of him.
Yeah, Danny, he likes to go on every Bigfoot trip that we go on. He is our local expert.
Well, thinks he is. Danny.
Hold on, I'm dancing to the music.
Yeah, we could see that.
Doing the waltz with the missus in the hotel room.
I'm right in front of you guys.
And you look
Like I'm in the next room.
I think
You
he's
look great.
I think he's cloaking like a Bigfoot.
Oh.
Mr. Danny,
I'm cloaked. I'm right behind you.
you're cloaked. So, where you at?
Just don't tap on my shoulder. I'll have a heart attack.
I'm in my mom's basement.
Again. Dude, you got to stop stealing her money from her purse.
I need gum.
He's out of bubble gum. Uh-oh.
So, are you in the Bay Area still right now?
No, we're home.
Oh, you're home
Got
now.
home late last night.
Okay, so how's your dad doing? Everybody, Mr. Danny Valderrama went to go visit his dad. His dad is having some problems. What's going on with your dad?
He had back surgery and he's had a 6.5 hour back surgery, and he had complications. He had a blood clot, so they had to go in and take that out on Friday.
Wow.
So
How's he doing?
getting back in. He's doing a lot better now.
Is he?
I guess all the blood was pushing on his nerves, and he wasn't able to walk or had a lot of pain in his back too. So he's feeling much better now.
Okay, that's good. That's awesome. All right.
Yeah, that is.
All right.
And those hospital trips are no fun.
Your Raiders lost.
Yeah, your Cowboys are losing too.
Oh, what
I don't
score?
care.
What score?
It's 13-0, I think, against the Niners.
Oh. Well, Danny, thank you very much for coming on tonight. We'll talk to you next week. Bye.
There.
Yeah, I don't care. Whatever. All right, Mr. Danny Valderrama sent over some pictures, and we're going to put them up right now for you who are watching us on live stream. But if you are at the artbell.com website listening in over there, he sent them over to them, to the Art Bell people, and they put them on the homepage marked Bigfoot Report on today's date. So if you want, you can go follow us over there and not miss out on anything. So right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put up picture number 1, and that Mr. Danny Valderrama sent over, and we're going to go to it right now. And you are on, dude. Go for it.
Okay, the first picture is from August 18th, and that's a picture of Delary Laliberti, and she's from Cumberland House, Saskatchewan, Canada. That's up near Lake Superior. And as you can see from the picture, she is a firefighter. And she's learning right here in the picture how to start a backfire. And she was battling the sucker fire, which was in western Montana this week. And this was her first time being out on the fire lines, on the front lines. So picture number 2 is a picture that she took while she was out there.
This is so cool. Bam.
Yeah, that's cool.
There's fires burning all over the western part of the United States.
For all those who are right now listening on the app at artbell.com, she's a firefighter, and she found a Bigfoot footprint at the fire. This is
and
way cool.
her very first fire that
very
she worked on.
cool.
So she probably doesn't know better yet not to talk about it, so she popped it out there.
Oops. Well, no kidding. Because Ellen and I were just talking about that a little while ago. Yeah. Oops.
She put underneath the picture, it says, "Look close, you'll see it."
Yep.
And the picture has been shared over 5,000 times now. And she's just blown away by the response because it went viral right away after she posted it. And she's like, "I don't know any of these people who are posting this picture." And
well, I was one of them. Right away. I was like, it was only, I mean, it was fresh. It was like 15 minutes, 16 minutes when I first saw it. I went, bam, grabbed, shared on my wall, and boom.
You got to do it quick because sometimes people will tell them to take it down or something. And if you don't save it, it's gone.
Wow.
But she said that when they go out to the fires, they have to carry a sleeping bag because they have to sleep somewhere. And she had a sleeping bag in a little tent. And after she saw the footprint, she was pretty scared in her little tent because she kept on picturing a Bigfoot coming up and grabbing the tent and carrying her off somewhere in the forest.
Right.
I heard she was going to sleep in a sack lunch like I do. Yeah.
So I did send it off to Meldrum to see if he had a response, and I haven't heard anything back from him. Sometimes he'll respond if I send him pictures, and got nothing yet.
Nothing yet.
That sucker fire was pretty big. It's,
right.
About 1,300 acres in the Helena National Forest in western Montana. But you can see on this picture, though, you can definitely see toes on the right-hand side.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Yeah. And
it kind of looks like there was a 2x4 that was probably laying on the print after it was made.
Oh, I see it. Good eyes.
You can see the bottom, the squared off bottom, and it goes kind of up to just below the boot up there.
So you think it stepped on the 2x4?
No, I think it was part of the debris that was probably falling after, maybe during the fire or something.
Okay.
Probably fell on it, and they probably picked it up and pulled it off to get the picture. But you can definitely see like a rectangular shape there.
I can. Yep, I sure do.
You can't see the mid-tarsal break on the footprint there. That's probably because of the whatever was there that was pulled off, probably destroyed it.
Now, people, she's a firefighter. She is not going to have a cast in her backpack. So, she's up there right now fighting these fires. She's going to go, you know what? I'm going to take the cast out right now. I'm going to put it on the dirt, and I'm going to make an impression, and then I'm going to take a photograph of it, and I'm going to get myself in trouble doing this. That's not what is going on here. She is probably going to get in trouble for doing this. All right. Hopefully they won't do anything to her, but
they'll probably tell her not to share it public.
Again.
She could take pictures of it and keep it to herself.
Right.
Because I have friends that do that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for a long time, because I lived in the hills for 20-something years, and a lot of the kids that hung with my kids, that's what they do now professionally. And I get to see their pictures, and I hear their comments that aren't shared public, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they say they are seeing movement of,
Well, right now with all these fires,
they're seeing them.
The
but
Bigfoots
only
are running.
Share who, where, what state.
And Alan was just telling me, what was going on, and he doesn't even want me to even talk about it.
Right. We could talk about it. We can't say what state. We can't say. All I'll say is they are they are seeing them.
Yes.
They are moving. The Bigfoots are moving.
They're moving because they're trying to get away from this fire, you guys. So they're running, away from it. So when you run away from the fire, you're going to run into other people, and those other
You're
people
gonna run
are
into
the,
those
are
guys.
the fire departments. All right, and and they're probably catching all this, and they're probably going, holy, So they're catching this stuff. So this is awesome.
Kind of hard to hide whenever there's a fire chasing you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Plus,
We just got to keep our eyes on the internet. There's plenty of hunters out there Bigfoot hunting, and there's plenty of firefighters out there right now. Somebody's
Right.
going to catch something.
hey,
Man,
you bet.
there is like the bow season started. So, yeah, be watching.
Okay. Well, we need to get up there and
With, like,
get those
5
cameras.
states
I'm
burning.
afraid if we don't go get up there and get those cameras, that there's going to be a fire set in that location, and my cameras are going to go up in smoke.
We already lost some
Yeah.
to a fire. We need to.
So we got to go
wanna
back
lose
up.
some more.
Right. So okay. All right. Next photograph, Mr. Danny.
All right, the next one is from a hunter who set up trail cams too, and this is Sammy Fulkerson. He lives in Ohio. This is taken back on August 16th. There's 5 pictures in this report, and he's a hunter. He belongs to many of the hunting groups on Facebook. It's from McLean County, Ohio, near the county line, and these are his trail cam pictures, and there's 3 of them in a row here. This first one was taken at 7:32 on August 14th. You can see that at the bottom.
What the hell?
Wow.
And
What
on
the
the
hell?
August 14th, right when he says it was. And
What the
you can see
hell?
there's a patch missing
You're
of
gonna
hair.
Are
on his,
you-
You're gonna have
Beep.
Keith,
Me?
beeping. Yeah.
You freaking beep me.
Yeah.
Are
you see
you
a patch of hair missing on the shoulder and the hand.
kidding me?
It was in a
At
by a
7:33, it took
fire.
a next picture.
That was by a fire.
No.
This isn't a firefighter. This is a hunter.
A hunter just has trail cams up in the in different spots.
The next one at 7:33 looks like it has
I got
ribbon in its hair.
7:35 actually.
That's the third one. The
Oh.
second one.
Second
At
one,
7:33.
7:33. Okay, got it.
It kind of looks like it has a ribbon in its hair. You can kind of see a straight line.
Right on top. Yep.
Yeah.
So you think that's just a missing hair?
No,
No. What do you
I
think?
think after you see 7:35, you can see there's no hair on the shoulders again, and the face kind of looks like it's a mask.
Ew.
And it's kind of squared off at the bottom.
Oh.
So this dude's like, either he's in on it with a trail cam, or he is risking his life.
Let me guess, Danny.
Well, I don't think he's in on it because what he said after he saw the pictures, he said if it's somebody playing a joke, he said, God have mercy on his soul if I see him.
I heard that.
Because he's a hunter.
Yeah.
He's going to get shot.
Right.
But what I think it is picture number 5 is somebody in a ghillie suit. I think it's probably another hunter who's out doing what he's doing.
Oh, and he's seen the game camera and thought he would like mess with the guy, huh?
Or he's out there searching for deer or whatever he's looking for and saw the game cameras and tried to get out of the area.
One more time.
Well, it looks like he's like doing it on purpose, running back and forth, looking
Yeah,
at
it
the
looks like
camera.
he did go, then come back, and then went back
Yeah.
again.
Let's go back to the other one.
Like, well, let's freak this dude out one more time.
They kind of
Smile.
look the same.
Yeah. Yeah, it actually does. Doggone it. And the patches of hair that are missing, it could be the actual suit itself because
Yeah, just the variations in color.
right. That sucks, man. Why'd you go do that to me?
Sorry.
Well, I know they're a lot stronger looking than that, anyways.
It was very hairy.
Usually, the one I saw, he was so big up here. The shoulders looked like he had football pads underneath, his ghillie suit. That's what it looked like.
As David Ragosa says, there's no such thing as Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, next one.
So,
Okay.
Phantoms and Monsters. This is from the Phantoms and Monster page.
Okay.
They did a report on the Crypto Four Corners crew.
Okay.
From June. This was printed on August 17th, but it actually happened on June 29th.
With J.C.
And I
Johnson
posted a
involved?
video of the interview that they did on June 30th.
And that
This
is,
is
that's on the Art
J.C.
Bell.
Johnson's group.
Okay.
Yeah, that's on the Art Bell page.
Okay.
At the very bottom, you can see the interview that they did.
Okay.
Some of the research they did. But this is J.C. Johnson's group, and J.C. Johnson isn't there. He's up in Minnesota at another research area. So he let his guy, George Harvey, take control of this one. And this is actually near George's house. So it's within 5 miles of his house, near the Four Corners area. And it's near the San Juan River. And there's a picture of George and the two witnesses, the son and the father.
So George is which one?
George is on the right-hand side.
Okay.
And he has his group there.
So what are they?
Four Corners.
What are they talking about?
Well, they're saying that the son was outside playing basketball. We have a big area in the back. And what they're calling this is a furry one sighting, is what they call them. And this happened on the Navajo Reservation along the San Juan River. And the kid was just out there playing basketball, shooting hoops, and as the ball got away from him, he was looking towards the mountainside there, and he saw a dark figure moving. So he stopped, and then he kind of waved to it, and he said the thing put his hand up, but it didn't wave, and then it stood up, and then it sat back down, and it was sitting there watching him. It wouldn't move once it sat down. So he thought that was kind of odd, so he went back in the house, and he got his dad. Said there's a black figure out there watching them. So his dad came out there, and unfortunately his dad didn't have one of the newer phones. He only has a 1.1 megapixel, and J.C. Johnson recommends at least a 5 megapixel to get some detail. So the next picture is the picture that his dad took.
Really? All right, let's take a look at this.
And you can see a dark figure there, but there's really no detail or anything. But they did say they were watching it move around. So this Crypto Four Corners group went out there and investigated it, and they actually climbed the top of the mountain, and they were looking down the mountain, and they saw a whole area, a whole trail, kind of pushed down brush, and they found a natural spring where they could get water. And they do believe that there was something there watching them.
Now, so when you say furry creature, so we're talking about Bigfoot then, right?
They're talking about Bigfoot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, people look at this area. This is not the mountains. This is not 5,000 feet elevation. This is not 4,000 feet elevation. This is like down on the floor.
Well, I think naturally where they're at is 5,000.
Oh, 5,000. Okay, well, but
I
as
mean,
far
you
as
know.
mountains or redwoods and forest,
right.
there's nothing like that here.
This is like the plateau of New Mexico.
Okay.
So they're already like 5,000 feet.
Right.
You know.
But when people think Bigfoots are in the forest,
Right.
hiding behind the redwoods, no, guys.
Not always.
No, not at all, guys. At all. So
I mean, they're there, and then
they're
they're
here.
too. Yeah.
Exactly. So,
But they believe this one that was sighted belonged to a family group from a habituation area that they were monitoring. They said it's a small group, and they believe that small group belongs to a clan of about 17 that roam this 100-mile square area near the Navajo Reservation.
Wow.
So they think it was probably a juvenile that was watching the kids play around.
Wow. Roll into it a little more. Maybe we could see it better. Like, see? Oh yeah.
well, there's a dark something there.
Let's see how like on
It
here.
doesn't match the color. So that's not
Yeah,
that's
it's
not
not rolled in
it's
yet.
not
on
rolled in
this,
yet. Okay,
yeah.
so you
It's a
guys should
delay.
there's a delay, so you guys should be getting
So
it.
whatever was there is not there now. And
Okay.
the crew went back there to check it out. And the next picture is them at the top of the mountain looking down, pointing to the trail that they can see. And they went down and followed it. It's easy access down and back up without being seen. And they said on hot days it probably sits in there or sleeps in there to cool off. And you'll never see it.
You'll never see it, man.
It's like that video that was posted on the PC page. I don't know if you saw it, about all the 35 billy goats that were in the picture.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
But you couldn't see them. You couldn't see any of them until
Right,
they all took off.
until you made a loud sound and they scattered. Well, what are they? Like, wow, where were they all at? Well, they were right in front of your face,
It'd be just like that.
blending
You
in.
won't see them unless they want you to see them.
That's right. Cool beans.
A Colorado striker. He was out for 2 days Bigfoot hunting out in Colorado.
Right
If
on.
you find anything, you know who to call.
No, not Ghostbusters. Us.
Yeah. Ghost.
What's next?
Cool.
Oh, that's it.
That's it.
That's it. Right on, Mr. Right on. Let me go back to here. Let me go back to there. Please, let me, please. Oh, thank God. Okay. Good. We didn't freeze
See,
up.
I guess they had like once I saw that, I watched several of the videos that JC put up of that family of Bigfoots,
Mm-hmm.
and I guess they've been like having interactions with them for a while now.
Right.
And one girl was even like just a few feet from one, a big one, and the dog, her dog, went over there, and the Bigfoot was scratching its belly and ears and stuff. You know, I mean, that's how they're around so much that
Right.
the dogs
Dogs
and the Bigfoots know each other.
Wow.
You know, interesting, huh?
Very cool.
Pretty cool.
Yep, absolutely cool. So, all right, Mr. Danny Valderrama, thank you very much, sir, and we will talk to you next week.
I don't know.
Oh, where are you going to be?
I'm on vacation.
You are.
Like,
You're going to
yeah.
Louise.
You know, that's
No, I'm
what
going to
he
see your
says.
Cowboys.
You
Yeah.
are. You're going to go see, what, 49ers and Cowboys?
No, Cowboys and the Vikings.
Oh, and that's in Dallas, right?
Yep.
Yep. What,
But
wait, you're
if I can't be here-
you're a Raider fan, and yet
But
you're
I'll
going to
be
go
in
see,
Dallas.
what, why? What's wrong with you?
I don't know. I want to see the stadiums.
Oh,
Ah,
yeah, that makes sense.
that's one of the coolest stadiums over there.
Yeah, pretty big.
Yeah.
Now, was,
But in case I'm not here, I'm lining up a guest for you next week.
okay. All right, sounds good. Now, I think somebody was saying there's, you're going to be flying out there, right?
Yeah.
You know where I'm going with this.
I know where you're going.
Somebody made a prediction that there was going to be a god
Air disaster.
an air disaster during your flight time.
During that day. Yep. I know.
Right on that day too.
Cancel.
And I hate flying as it is.
Warning.
Danger, Will Robinson.
All right, now you'll be fine. And you know what? This guy we're talking about is wrong all the time.
He's been pretty darn close.
Has he?
Yeah, he's close.
He's close, but no cigar. Not like William Stillings last week, and we will talk about that right now. So, okay,
He's
all
off
right.
by a few days.
Yeah. All right, Danny, dude. Take care. We'll talk to you.
See you guys.
Okay, see ya.
Bye, I hope.
Bye, Danny.
All right. Yeah. Okay, let's talk about last week real quick. At the very end of the show, we got a phone call, and it was Mr. William Stillings. Who in the hell is William Stillings? Well, Google him. He and Basaggio are the ones who say they teleported to Mars.
Yep.
And they've been, they did this when they were kids. And right next to them, they say, was also Mr. President Obama.
Only he was Barry Sotelo.
Sotero.
Yeah, Sotero.
Okay, so you guys are probably going, what? What are you talking about? Yes, I know it sounds absolutely ridiculous. Go Google it. William Stillings. Well, anyways, William Stillings called in like 5 minutes right before the show.
Yeah.
And we go, wait, that voice sounds very familiar. It's William Stillings. And he says, oh, by the way, you guys, we're going to have an earthquake tomorrow at the Bay Area. And he gave like almost a specific location. And guess what happened on Monday? We had an earthquake of 4.0 at the Bay Area.
Yeah, he's like, is everybody going to be happy with the earthquake? And I said, yeah, I'm happy.
Wait, what earthquake?
Yeah.
And he says the one that the Bay Area is going to have. Yes, folks, he did say that. And it's on the show if you want to go back and listen to it.
And that's pretty darn,
And
incredible,
Yeah,
really.
I mean, granted, the San Andreas fault line, but this was not the San Andreas fault line. It was another fault line. You know, we've been having earthquakes left and right. You know, as a matter of fact, Mammoth Lakes, which is east of Fresno, had a 3.7, I think it was yesterday or the day before. So, you know, yes, but to say on the air, tomorrow the Bay Area is going to have an earthquake. Now, he did not specifically say how large it was going to be.
No.
He just said the Bay Area was going to have an earthquake. Enough for us to pay attention about, to make us aware of.
Yeah, I mean, if it would have been bigger, he would have been saying, is everybody getting ready to leave the Bay Area?
Okay. Yeah, you know, I don't know where he got the information from.
No.
Did he go back to the? Oh, actually, you know, let's take that back. Did he Back to the Future? That way, yeah. Did he go
something
back
like
to the
that.
future? And then I don't know, but he did predict it, and it was on the air. We have it saved, unarchived on the artbell.com website. You can go back and listen to it, or go back to our live stream archive, or on the YouTube channel of Paranormal Central, and it's there. Okay, so yeah, I don't know what to tell you, but when Danny called me, or actually he texted me, he said, "Dude, the Bay Area just had an earthquake," and it was like Monday morning, and I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't get that many people predicting stuff on the air, and it actually happens.
That's almost never.
And we had one on our show. So we thank you, Mr. William Stillings, for calling us and telling us about that earthquake. So I guess now you can go ahead and call us whenever you want, Mr. Stillings. And what I'm going to do,
Actually,
though,
he's been gone.
I don't know. He's been doing so. What I'm going to do is, because as we were talking, I think it was Heidi or somebody. I don't remember who we were talking to at the very end of the show, but my call waiting kept on coming up. Beep, 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 and I still haven't figured out how to get rid of it because we're using cell phones here, and so I'm going to have to give him my personal line, so that way he can call me on the personal line if that's the case, and I know the area code, so I'll be aware of when he, if that's him, I'll call, I'll talk to him while no interference. But yes, he predicted it, and it happened. It's saved. If you guys want to go listen to it, that's fine, but it's there. So there you go. All right, now we have a treat. You guys all know I have a 24-hour hotline. Used to be a UFO hotline, but it has changed to a paranormal hotline. And I get calls from all over the place, you guys.
All over.
All over. Talking about haunted
all
places.
over the world.
Yes.
Like England, everywhere.
Dude, everybody calls me now. And it's about everything that we talk about here.
Yeah.
Swear to God, you guys, it is. And last night, last night or the night before, some guy called me. And he happens to live in Sanger, California, which is east of Fresno. I was born and raised in Sanger, so I named the Sanger Paranormal Society after my team, So I don't know where he got my number. He called me, and he says, "Hey, my name is Anthony." I'm not going to tell you his last name. And he proceeded to tell me that he has been hiking and hunting and camping up in the Sierras for a long time, and I wanted to tell somebody about the things that we were running into. And I said, "What?" And he says, "Well, we have been running into Bigfoot, Sasquatches up there." And he started to proceed to tell me about all these things and what has been happening to him and his friends. And I said, "Oh, I got to get you on the show." And he says, "What show?" And I said, "Well, we have an internet show." He goes, "Really?" So this guy, he's not a friend on Facebook. As a matter of fact, 15 minutes prior to the show tonight, I made him a friend on my Facebook wall, on my Facebook. And he doesn't know about the show because he asked me, "How do I see your show?" I had to tell him to go download the app. And so this guy knows nothing about us. All right, you guys?
But you know what's cool? He verifies.
Yes.
He's going to verify what we always say.
Right.
And everybody, man, people has been griefing me lately. They say, "No way does every time you go out there, does something happen with a Bigfoot?"
Right.
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does.
Just about every single time. It does.
Yep.
And according to what I hear about him.
If you know where to go.
And you know what to listen for and things like that.
And what to watch. And and this guy has found several locations where they go all the time, and they are there. So we're going to go ahead and bring on Anthony by telephone.
This is so cool.
And we're going to, he's going to spill his guts, and he's going to tell us the location, the places.
Hello?
Hey, Anthony.
How's it going, Jeffrey?
Good, man. All right, Mr. Anthony. Let's start from the very beginning. How did you get my number to start off with?
I went on Facebook, and I was looking for Singer Paranormal Society, and I found the Facebook page,
Okay.
so I joined it. And then I looked for your phone number, and I couldn't find it on there. And then about 6 months later, which was last week.
Wait, wait. You waited 6 months to call me, dude?
Yeah.
Dude.
I couldn't find your phone number on there, and it's just right there.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad you finally called, dude. Okay. So, Okay, so, all right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to talk about, what you've been encountering up there. Now, first of all, how long? So you live in Sanger, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. Yeah, I was born and raised in Sanger, man. I'm from Sanger. I went to Sanger High School. I was born in the Sanger Hospital as well. So, all right. So, how long have you been, going up to the mountains, hiking, camping? How long have you been doing that?
Since I was pretty much in diapers, I've been doing it.
Okay.
As long as I can remember. My earliest experience was bow hunting with my dad, and I was just kind of pretending to bow hunt, but I was about 6 years old, and we were up towards the Minarets area, and we thought we heard a bear in the woods, but it was. I definitely, after all my experiences later on in life, I kind of determined that definitely wasn't a bear. Bears are quiet unless they're looking for food and flipping over rocks in the rivers or something. There was something in the woods breaking trees down and just making a big ruckus. And we had the hair standing up on our back and neck, and we were just freaked out. And we had that gut feeling, kind of like, say, a mountain lion's about to pounce on you. But it wasn't a mountain lion and it wasn't a bear. So, that was my first experience. So that's how much experience I've had.
Okay, so that was back then when you were 6 years old. So how old are you right now?
Right now I'm 40.
You're 40. Oh, okay. You've been doing this a while then. All right. Well, when we were on the phone, you were telling me, the name of the places, and you were actually giving me exact, almost as far as where exactly. But I don't want you to give us exactly. You can name the names of the places, okay? And then explain to us what you do when you guys go to this spot. Because you were telling me camping, hiking, hunting, and it's just not you. You don't go by yourself. You go with people, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And a good thing, too.
Yeah, go ahead.
A really good thing that you go with other people.
Yeah, because when we were talking on the phone, Anthony had no clue about the missing people or that they were dangerous. So he had no clue. So, okay. So, you know what, Anthony? I want you to tell us and give us your best, encounters. Whether it's visual, whether it's audio, whether you have found things that just didn't make sense to you. I want you to tell us what you have encountered and tell us the name of the place. Okay?
Okay.
Go for it, dude.
Okay, so up in the Sierra Nevada, at Wishon Lake area, I've been experiencing these encounters my whole life. No big deal. To me, it's just second nature. You kind of just deal with it. It's there. Just kind of like pick it with the good and the bad. But the most powerful encounter I've ever had was when we were up at Wishon camping. It was during rifle season for deer and bear, and we were camping. We had the whole family up there, and we're camping, and it's at nighttime, and we started hearing these vocalizations up in the hill across the road. And at first, you're like, okay, a horse broke his leg, and you're like, no, I don't think so. And you're like, there's really, something's going on here. And then they're far away noises, and actually they start getting closer and closer, and at that point, it's so powerful that you can feel the vibration in your chest.
Dude, oh my God, it's exactly what happened to us when we went to the spot. It was Danny, Robert Scott, Alan, and myself. It was roaring. We felt the bass in our stomach. I cannot believe you just said that.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I mean, I'm a Marine Corps veteran, rifleman by choice. I wanted to be a hardcore guy, and I thought I was, a pretty tough guy, hunt bears with a bow and arrow, and I'm successful doing that. And, I mean, I'm not scared to fight a bear hand-to-hand or a mountain lion, but when I heard that and felt that, I was just like, I don't know about this. I don't feel very comfortable about this situation
like
right here,
King
you know?
Kong
So
out
it was
there,
like King Kong coming through the forest, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And we talked about that because we had the same thing happen to us, like I just said, and we actually got it on audio. I have a recording of it. It's not the same as if you were there live. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah, exactly.
when you say you felt it's bringing back the day that we were there, and we felt it in our stomach vibrating like King Kong was coming through the trees, and in any minute he was going to show up and tear us apart. That's how
Oh, yeah.
that's how it felt. And for you to describe exactly what we felt is like, oh my God, dude, is like, that is awesome. Now, obviously, it scared the pants out of you. Who was with you at that time when it happened?
I had my wife and my 2 kids, and we were just like, and I actually had my hunting dog, just, and kind of like just for protection to bark, when something's coming around, this and that. And
Right.
it's just like, I mean, I have a very large, high-powered rifle. It's really not necessary, but it's like, hey, look, I could shoot something really far away if I wanted to with this. And it's like, I was like, I don't think my gun's big enough for this. And I was just like, what am I going to do? And I was actually panicking.
Right.
I mean, I wasn't running away from it, but I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Right.
This gun is not big enough. You know what I mean?
What size did you have?
I have it's a Remington rifle, but it shoots a 300 Weatherby cartridge with a 180 grain bullet, and that's significant enough to shoot a 1,000-pound grizzly bear or a large moose or anything in the world,
Right.
And I was just like, no, this isn't big enough.
Wow.
You know what? You know that the first time I saw a Bigfoot in 1987, it was 10 feet tall, and I was carrying a Weatherby 300 Magnum Mark V. And I mean, I was thinking it wasn't big enough either. It was like, dang, plus it was really graceful, fast, smooth, it was big. That's amazing.
That is awesome. That is amazing. Now, there's something that we're going to talk about. The place that you just mentioned was Sean. I'm not going to say anything about it right now, but okay, we're going to continue. All right. So obviously, you heard the screams, the roars, whatever you want to call it. What did you do that night? Did you guys stick around and stay, or what?
Yeah, we stuck around because, I mean, I've had so many, like, unusual encounters my whole life, being you name it. If it's on your show, you've probably experienced it. So it's just like, you know what? I like doing this, and this is what I'm going to do. So we hunkered down and spent the night. But at the same time, it was just like, it was a pretty overwhelming experience, And a few weeks before that, my buddies that camped there, we had got a little family camp, and they have actual recordings of it. And I mean, we've been hearing it since it started about 4 or 5 years ago. Every time we go up there, we hear it.
Wow.
And so it's kind of just like a normal thing. And if anyone's like, oh, I don't believe in Bigfoot, we'll say, okay, well, go
Come
camping
with
with us,
That's
and
what we
I'll
say.
say, you tell me,
Yeah.
Right. Wow. So does when you said your buddy has it recorded, how did you record it with?
He recorded it with his cell phone, so that's all he had at the time.
Okay. And usually, like I said, the bass response is not there. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about, dude. All right. So that was, when did this happen?
That was about 5 years ago. It's when it happened the first time. But now, anytime we go up there at camp, it's just like a normal occurrence.
Okay.
Like when we saw that you guys were on the Bigfoot Hunters show, and you guys are up in that kind of the general area up there, I was like, yeah, they're up there.
Yeah.
It didn't surprise me one bit.
Right. And people just don't understand. For all those who are listening to us right now, who lives here, the Valley Floor, Fresno, California, the Bigfoots are right there. It blew me away, Anthony, when I found out, 9 years ago, that, the Bigfoots were that close. It blew me away. Because I would assume, Mount St. Helens or 10,000 feet elevation or 15,000 feet, where you're at, it's about 5,000 feet, right? I mean...
Yeah, it's not that far away.
not-
It's only like a 2-hour drive from
Yeah,
here.
that's exactly where we go. All right, so what other experiences have you had? Now, obviously, you go up with other friends as well, not just a family, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So you go...
Yeah. Like backpacking last weekend, it's at a lot greater elevation towards the Kaiser Pass wilderness area. We hiked 10 miles. We drove as far as we could drive, and then we hiked 10 miles one way. And it's a place where it's about tree line. It's where the tree line starts and stops, so it's not treeless. You know, it's within a mile of. If you go a mile uphill from where we are, there's no trees, and it's a normal occurrence. It's just second nature for us to see Bigfoot tracks up in this area. And the cool thing about the area that makes it so good is it's just rocky and dry everywhere on the whole way up, and nothing to eat. But when we get into this little cut, it's just like it's a lush meadow that's wooded with really thick trees, no brush. And it goes for about a mile, and then it steps up, and then it goes for another half mile, and it steps up, and it goes for about a quarter mile. And it's just, it must have been from back in the early 1800s when the gold miners were looking for gold. Someone had lived there for a long time, because there's wild vegetables growing up there, wild onions and garlic, and you name it, it's up there, and it's kind of weird. But what it means is it's just a lush feeding plot, a food plot for all kinds of deer and bear and anything else that lives up there.
Right.
So anything that's living up there, that's where they go to get dinner and lunch and breakfast. So there's like 6 different creeks going through this area, and it's just full of water. There's a natural spring coming out of the mountain about a mile and a half away. It's just gushing water out of a granite rock mountain, feeding those creeks. So it's pretty awesome. It's just a perfect place to go. The crazy thing about it is we see Bigfoot tracks there every time we go, and we see a lot of juvenile tracks.
Mm-hmm.
The juvenile tracks are always a full print, but then the actual Bigfoot tracks, the large ones, they're about 10 inches across, but we only get about half a print with the toe section.
Wow. So they're moving, I'm thinking, right? They're moving, and they're not leaving the whole footprint in the ground. So, all right. Okay. Experiences while you were camping, like you were telling me over the phone. Spill it.
Okay, so going back to the spot I was just telling you about, I tell them, I'm pretty picky about who I take up there, but it has to be a really good friend. So I'll tell them, okay, we're going to go up here, we're going to go camping, we're going to go look for some deer, we're just basically going to catch some fish or maybe see something. And I tell them, about dark, when dark comes, you can hear Bigfoot like crossing the creek, and then you're going to feel like someone's watching you, and it's not going to be a mountain lion or a bear, and you're going to know the difference. And all night long, it's going to be walking around the camp checking this out. And they're like, get out of here, you're crazy. So every guy that I've taken up there won't go back. And the next morning, after we wake up, they're like, let's go home.
Yeah.
Really?
And it's like, yeah.
That's how I was.
Wow.
I didn't go back for 6 years.
But you saw Bigfoot, Alan, but these guys didn't see one, but they heard something, and they know they are in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
There is nobody else up there with you guys, because this is not a campground. This is, there's not a road, right next to you guys. So, he's taken what you told him before you went to sleep into consideration, and you're going, oh, man. And then you're finding these footprints, right?
Oh, yeah. Exactly. We get up after in the morning time, take a little walk around, and there's no bear tracks or mountain lion tracks. There's big Bigfoot tracks, and it's just like I told you, man. We've even done some tricks like we'll clean the fish and we'll put the file of the fish guts like right by our camp, but over, okay, let's see what happens. In the morning they're gone, and there's no bear tracks there. There's no mountain lion tracks there, but there's Bigfoot tracks.
Wow. Dude, that's awesome. Do you guys take game cameras or anything like that?
You know what? I'm going to start doing it because, that would be pretty awesome to get that on film. And
dude,
it doesn't seem like it would be too hard to do.
No, it's not.
But you want to have more than one.
Yeah.
Because for some reason, when you have just one, they can like do something like cloak or something, and the game camera won't.
What I would do is go up to that spot where you just said that you were fishing and you took out the fish guts and all that, and then set up the game cams like on the ground around the campsite, and just take them with you. Don't leave them on the tree for like 4 months. Just take them with you and put them around on the floor, aiming a certain direction. Because if you're telling me these things are coming around at night while you're asleep and you're leaving food for them and they're taking it, dude, oh my God. Yep. You've been doing this for how long?
Well, the backtracking trips have been for like the last 15 years.
Right.
Wow.
Okay, so, for all these years, they know who you guys are now. They know visually when you are there. They probably know you by the scent, the smell of you, and your voice. So they know who you are, and they know you're not going to cause them any harm. Now, do you carry your weapons with you when you're up there?
See, I mean, in archery season, I only carry a bow with me and a knife.
Okay.
But after talking and finding out that, they're actually carnivorous and they're not always so friendly, because I was like, oh, Bigfoot's cool, man. Just don't mess with them. They won't hurt you. Blah blah blah. Now I'm like, wait a minute. You know what I mean?
Right. And when you there, and we'll get into it later as far as missing people, but I think we talked about it a little bit, and so hopefully I opened your eyes, by talking to you about the missing people. But all right, so I want to hear more stories of you guys camping and anything like that. Like you told me some stories about the rocks and the nest and all that.
Oh yeah, the nest. One time we're up in the behind Huntington, in Tamarack Ridge area, and we actually we think we saw a Bigfoot running like for about half of a second. We saw him running and jump down the hill. We're like, it sure wasn't a bear on his hind legs doing the 100-yard dash,
Right.
And we're like, okay, so we're cruising around, and we're like, this could be a good place for Bigfoot to live because with all this granite rock, they can't really leave any tracks. And we started tripping out on these trees. They had like a big giant, it looked like a bald eagle nest, but it was big enough for a family of 5 humans to be up in there. What? And we're like, wait a minute, dude, check this out. And it's just like a little tree, like a Bigfoot tree fort, And it was about 100 feet up in the air, and I mean, it was crazy. It was crazy, but we saw more than one. So we're definitely something about it. Maybe it's a wintering area where they can kind of post up and stay warm and everything. But that's one of the shelters I found up towards the minarets. My dad found it's like a mini teepee, but it was made out of tree bark and tree limbs. And he was actually hunting in it with his bow, a little stick bow, like a long bow made out of wood. And he was hiding in there, and there's some deer coming by, this and that. He didn't get any shots or anything, but he heard a loud grunt, and he was like, what's that? And this was back in the 60s, and he was like, same thing. His hair was standing up. He had a gut feeling. Something was seriously wrong. And all of a sudden, he heard some screams, and then a Bigfoot started running towards him. And then my dad realized he was in a little Bigfoot hunting blind.
Yep.
And because my dad was in there, he's like, man, this is perfect. I'm going to hunt in here. No one can see me. There's a deer trail right here. And then after he realized, he was in Bigfoot's little hunting grounds, and
yep.
He started running away, and he was with a buddy out there, and his buddy was running away too, and they crossed each other. And my dad's like, what are you doing? And he's like, I heard Bigfoot. And then my dad's buddy's like, you're going the wrong way. So my dad turned around and followed the guy. And I have another hunting buddy that actually has found that same similar type of shelter up in the Kaiser Wilderness area, and he found more than one. And he talked to some of the Mono Indians and stuff, and they said, yeah, that's definitely Sasquatch, like a hunting blind that they use.
And that's exactly where they place them, is where the deers migrate down. They're kicking it there, and they were pissed off at your dad because it was in his spot, man. You're lucky.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
You're lucky your dad is still alive.
Probably.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Now, you told me something about rocks.
Okay. Yeah, one time we were camping up towards Florence Lake, and I would always hear a big boom, and the only thing I can describe it as was like say a Navy battleship or an aircraft carrier shooting like a 40-millimeter cannon, but they're like 5 miles away, and that's how it sounded. And I was just like, what the heck is that? I was like, it's like the military, like dropping, like practicing with their ordnance off their jets or something. Like, what's going on here? And it's like midnight, 1 in the morning, and it happens every time I go camping up there, and I'm up awake late at night, and I'm just like, when I finally started watching some of the Bigfoot hunter shows, and I realized how they do the knocking on the trees, I'm just like, okay, now I know what it is.
Oh.
You know, but so we're staying up in that same area, and we're the same area where I always hear that, and this is just off of the road, you know, not backpacking or anything. And we're just like, I was telling my dad, you know, Dad, remember those noises we heard? Those are Bigfoot knocking on trees to, like, tell each other where they are. And he's like, no. And then all of a sudden, there's a rock was thrown into a manzanita bush just right in between me and my dad. And I was just like, huh.
How big was the rock?
The rock was the size of maybe a baseball.
Okay.
And I was just like,
so it was a deer throwing a rock at you, right?
Yeah, exactly. And there's nobody around up in there. You know, there's nobody up there.
No.
It's like a 4.5 hour drive from here. I mean, there's people down below where you actually stay to camp, and we're just in the middle of nowhere off the side of the road in some little section where it's our own little private spot.
Right.
And it was just like, I knew what it was. Most people would be tripping out, and I'm just like, yeah, Bigfoot's throwing rocks at us now. But I don't think they're throwing rocks at us. They're just letting us know that they're there.
Right. And they're there in their spot, basically. So
yeah.
They're just letting you know, hey, we are here.
Well, we get reports all around, like there, but also all the way down Courtright, Dinky Creek, all around. There's a white one that I've been having people tell me about from Dinky Creek all the way to Trimmer, down to Trimmer, for like 15 years now. Like 6.5 foot tall, white Bigfoot.
Wow. Now, we know, we were talking about, you're not going to, well, if worst comes to worst and you are attacked, well, obviously you have to protect yourself, right? Now, I told you that, I was telling you that, you need to definitely take your weapons and be careful. Now, I forgot to even mention about this. You said your friend has something that he found. Now, where did he find this, and explain that whole story?
Okay, the same area in the Wishon Courtright area, there's an area where, and this is the thing we're kind of putting out there. There's more than one Bigfoot, and they don't just live in one place.
Right.
So anyway, they're all over the place. So in this one area where we see them all the time, or hear them, not really see them, but see the tracks all the time and hear them all the time, where we hear all the vocalizations, it's only probably about 2 miles down the road where we hunt, and there's a lot of other guys hunt there. And, no one will hunt there anymore. Like, there used to be all kinds of fifth wheels and really nice four-wheel drive vehicles over there, like year after year since I was a kid. And now you go into that big area where they used to park and camp, and there's nobody there anymore.
Like the Doozy
And we
Trail?
realized right down the hill where everyone likes to hunt a lot, my buddy found some big. He actually got scared by a Bigfoot down there, and he ran out of there. And he also found a patch of hair, and he found a patch of hair, and he saved it, and he still has it. And we want to get it tested. But we've talked to other hunters, just kind of cruising along. We don't go out broadcasting it or telling everyone what we found or what we think or what we know, but we'll be seeing a guy, and you kind of know that he knows what's going on, and he's like, yeah, you guys go down in there? And he's like, yeah. He's like, well, I won't go down in there. I go, well, why? And they'll be like, well, we saw a Bigfoot down in there. And they were scared of it, So, we've talked to more than 3 or 4 people that had that experience.
You imagine how many people have encountered these Bigfoots, like the people who go four-buying, their ATCs, they're hunting. There's probably hundreds and hundreds of people who have witnessed and have stories, but they're keeping it to themselves because they don't want to get laughed at.
But I'm on a talk show right now.
because they don't want to get laughed at.
Yeah.
So it's like it's hard to find somebody that will listen to you and take what you say with credibility. Like, dude, I believe you. You don't have to say anything else. I believe you, because Anthony, all the stuff that you've been saying to us right now, we know it's a fact. As far as how they sound, what they do, where they're located, you've pretty much hit it on the head of all the places that we have been hearing about Bigfoots. With Sean, Huntington Lake, Shaver, Bass, all those locations, dude, are story after story after story. So, I mean, you probably have found, because, you go up there so much, you found the places where they're at. You have.
Yeah, and it's just second nature. It's like no big deal. It's like, oh yeah, Bigfoot's here. Just pay attention to your surroundings while you're here.
Yeah, exactly.
And don't get stuck out there after dark by yourself.
No, absolutely not. Because that is dangerous. Now, since I've got you on the phone real quick, I am going to, for all those who don't know, David Paulides. This is the name that you need to look up, Anthony, and really study the cases. He is a retired police officer, and he has been, he's also a Bigfoot hunter back in the days, and he still is, but he's been noticing, somebody told him that there was a lot of people going missing in our national parks.
Right.
And literally hundreds and hundreds and thousands all over the United States and Canada and Alaska. And we've had him on our show a couple of times, and he's told us stories, because, he's put out 4 books now, and these books contain cases that just don't make any sense. Each case in these books, they like sort of kind of match up on how or where they were at, how they disappeared, where they disappeared, if they found the body, how they found the body, what they found, if they didn't find. It just, all these cases are so interconnected somehow that is like, whoa. Now, last night, he sent me over a case that he just read about in the Sacramento Bee about a missing lady in the Wishon area that happened on Thursday. And I'm
just this week.
Just this week. She is right now missing, and
for 5 days.
And I am going to put
I
am going to put up right now the photograph of her on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
And what's very odd about this case is that it came out in the Sacramento Bee, but it didn't come out in the Fresno Bee or the news media, because I was not aware of this case. And he sent it to me, and then he mentioned with Sean, and I went, holy crap. And I told him, this is Bigfoot country right here. And he freaked out, because he knows the spot where she went missing is the Wishon Reservoir.
Mm-hmm.
And she's been missing since Thursday, and they've been searching for her, and they can't find her yet. She was with.
You know what? I can say my buddy just told me about that today. When he was up there this weekend, there's a search and rescue crew up there.
They're looking for her, and they can't find her yet.
It's real smoky up there right now too.
Right, and she was with other hikers. She wasn't by herself. She was with hikers. They were together, and somehow she went missing, dude. Just like that.
That's crazy.
Okay, so right now there is a search party looking for her. The Fresno County Search and Rescue are at this moment trying to locate her, and they can't find her at all. But see, you guys, because we have the show here in Fresno, California, we know what's going on now because of David Paulides and all the missing people here.
That's not up.
That's not up? Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. You're right. It's not up. Okay. Thank you. Here is a picture of her right now, and her name is Mayuki Hardwood. And she was separated from her friends at 1 p.m. on Thursday of last week. Was this during the fire? Was the fire on? Yeah, it was on as of last week. So she was up there hiking. People have to understand, there are so many forest fires right now. Anything that's in the way of these fires are going to run the opposite way. And now we're talking animals, we're talking bears, we're talking mountain lions, and we're talking Bigfoots as well. So it's like right now it's not a good time to be hiking. I can tell you that right now. So with Sean Reservoir, again, we have a missing hiker that they, as of last night, were trying to keep secret. That they were not telling anybody here in the valley about it. Now, as soon as he sent me this post, I posted it on my Facebook wall, and then last night the media started talking about it.
Right.
It was kind of weird that they were trying to keep it hush-hush. And it was kind of weird that the Sacramento Bee was talking. The Sacramento Bee was talking about it, and and the Fresno Bee and the Sacramento Bee are one of the same newspaper. They're together, so it was kind of weird that Sacramento were talking about it and the Fresno Bee was not talking about it. So that's telling me they were trying to keep it hush-hush.
Oh, definitely.
So, so there you go. People go missing all the time. Sometimes we don't hear about it, but David Pilates got a wind of this one out of the Sacramento Bee, and he was able to, let me know about it. So how many more people are going missing and we don't know about it? Well, a lot.
Yeah, because they don't tell everybody, and they don't. And this one proves they don't tell everybody.
They don't tell anybody. Exactly. Yeah. Now, the reason, like I said, just as of for 3 days, they were keeping this hush-hush because nobody knew about it. So people need to be very careful when you're up there hiking. And even, she was with other people, but yet she goes missing. It's like, look at her. She's, to be in her, in her 50s, possibly high 50s. I don't think she would be wandering away from her other hike, people that she was hiking. I have a feeling they were probably all together. How do you wander off like that and they all of a sudden lose of you and they can't find you? You would think, she would be yelling, hello, and they would be able to find her. They have not found her at today. Not unless they found her and I don't know about it. But this is what's going on, Anthony, and it's crazy, dude. So, what other story do you have, man? Because man,
yeah, I can sit here for hours, but I'll tell you some really like trippy ones. Like I was camping up at Courtright, and I heard something messing around in the camp area, and I had my face was touching the side of the tent, and it actually stuck its nose to the side of my face through the tent and sniffed it.
Whoa!
And I got up in the next morning and looked for bear tracks, and it wasn't a bear. And it wasn't a raccoon, and it wasn't a mountain lion.
So you didn't see any prints at all?
No, actually, I did not.
Wow.
Have you ever had it do the what do they call it? It's like a zap, like a infrasound.
Have you felt
to you while you're in your tent?
Yeah. Have you felt any weird feelings while you're up there, either in your tent or walking around? Just weird feeling. Obviously, you probably felt like somebody's watching you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But
Okay.
I mean more like something zapping
Yeah.
you.
Any other type of feelings, just that, where did that come from? Why did I just feel that? Anything like that at all?
Yeah, a lot of times it'll be like the hair on your whole body just stands up, and it's like an electrical pulses start going through your body, and you're just like on an amplified sense of readiness and alertness, and it's just like, what's going on? You know what I mean? It's not because there's no reason for it other than something like a huge King Kong predator is out there, like checking you out and, thinking about going after you.
Right. So it's obviously something like that. When you get that feeling, it's just like, why do I feel so scared right now?
Exactly.
Why there should not be a reason I should feel so terrified. And
yeah, because I'm not scared of bears, mountain lions. I'm not scared of anything up there. I'm not, and it's like, why am I even feeling this way?
Right.
Wow.
We interviewed 3 guys or a couple of guys,
right,
and they were abducted at Courtright.
Now we're not talking Bigfoot now.
No, we're talking about
now.
UFOs.
Okay, let's talk about that. Since you've been up there camping late at night, like Courtright or Washon, have you ever seen any, weird lights?
Well, I've seen all of it. I've spent so much time up there. If it happens, I've seen it. Most of the time, it's a big white orb that'll come into the camp area, and it'll be off to the distance. and if you look at it and notice it, it'll move. It's behind a tree, and then you'll be like, hey, look, that's moving. And it'll kind of just disappear, and then when you quit paying attention to it again, it'll show back up. And I've actually had them wake me up at night. One time I woke up at night, and one was right there, really danger close, and I was trying to wake up my wife, and she wouldn't wake up, and I was just shaking her, wake up, wake up, wake up, and she wouldn't wake up. And then, in the morning, she told me the same story, that I was asleep, and she woke up to that same, she saw the same thing, and she was trying to wake me up, and I wouldn't wake up. But I've seen those all the time when I'm up there.
Dude.
You don't have missing time, do you? Like,
We actually, one time on the way up to Florence, had a whole hour. And to prove it, my buddy's Chevy truck, actually, every gauge in the truck broke, and the clock was an hour behind, and all the gauges were still broken
whoa.
from that trip. And we actually saw something following us. It was about 1:32 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
We felt like we were being followed, and we're like, hey, look, that light looks like it's following us. No big deal. And then, all of a sudden, at the same time, we both said, man, it seems like we lost an hour or something. When we woke up, we went to cattle camp and everything. The next morning, we turned on our cell phones and we compared it to the truck. It was an hour different, and all the gauges in the vehicle were broken. All the gauges were upside down, and they just don't work anymore.
Wow. Wow.
Well, my friend, I think you got more than just Bigfoot going on up there. And
Oh yeah, plenty.
now, do you ever get the sense to go up there just out of the moment, like on a weekend? Dude, I feel like going. I gotta go. And you go up there with your friends, just spur of the moment thing?
I do at times. I mean, honestly, to be honest with you, I think about it 24/7.
So is that
I have, this weekend, I was supposed to go up there, and I had to help someone do work, and I'm just flipping out the whole time. And I'm thinking, okay, every day after work, I'm going to go up there. And I'm just, totally jonesing to get up there. So, I mean, honestly, I know you're looking for hey, just spirit of the moment type of thing.
right?
But I'm jonesing to go up there, every second.
Wow. Interesting.
See, that's how I am, kind of. Like that same thing. I
I try to tell everyone when we do normal stuff, like go to the movies or go to the mall or go this, go that, I call it normal people stuff.
Right.
But what I do is up there.
Right.
And if it's not up there, it doesn't really count. But it's okay, we're going to do normal people stuff so I can do my stuff,
Wow. So you are a mountain guide. You
Sound
are
like me,
you got the bug, but I think you got more than a bug.
Yeah.
Because we have, we've interviewed, we know a couple of guys, it was 3 at the time, who had, like Ellen was saying, an abduction at Cartwright Reservoir. And one of the guys, back in the days, used to just out of the spur of the moment, I have to go fishing. I have to go up there. I have to go. And he goes up there and he's fishing at the Kings River at a certain point someplace. And it starts at 10 o'clock in the morning. He's in the water fishing, and all of a sudden he wakes up, or now he's aware of himself, and it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and he's at a different spot in the river. Where did what am I doing here? And where did 4 hours go?
Right.
So there's a lot of stuff happening east of Fresno, including, and I'm just going to say, unidentified flying objects, because there are a lot of them up there. We've actually not me, David Raygosa has gotten some weird lights on the game cameras in the spots where we go looking for Bigfoot. For some reason, they're interconnected somehow. Now we're not saying that Bigfoots are aliens from another world. It's just these orbs, white orbs, seem to be in the locations where the Bigfoots are at.
Well, fact, he has a friend in chat, John Avila.
John Avila, John Avila?
Yeah, he's my buddy he's the one that has the hair.
Oh.
He's the one I go with all the time.
Yeah, and he was saying missing time and the 2 white lights, one bright and one big and one small.
Actually, he's experienced all this stuff with me, actually.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah. He's the one that his truck had the gauges break.
Oh, man. Man, one day
There's me and him.
you guys are local. Maybe one day we should have him come in the studio and we'll sit and have a chat.
Oh man, that would have been cool to have him in here right now because he told us all these stories already. But I'm sure you guys have other stories as well.
Oh, we have stories. We have so many stories. It'll make you nauseous. You'd be like,
Well, you know what? That's we want to inform people that the number one priority right now on this show is to make people aware and to let people know you need to be very careful, especially when you go up to the mountains, because this stuff is really happening.
And it's happening like now.
Right.
It isn't like when Patterson Gimlin in 1967 or
Right.
something. This is happening like today.
Right.
All the time.
Right. So and I want you, and I told you on the phone already, if we could go with you up to the spot, some of these spots, and just kick it with you and spend the night and just see what happens.
oh, definitely.
Man,
It won't
we
be a waste
should.
of time, that's for sure.
No, and I don't think it will be either.
No, and we could even bring you to some of the ones where we go too. It'll
Yeah,
be fun.
it's yeah, you know what? I think we just need to get together one night and just kick it, go have a drink someplace, and just talk, dude.
Oh, definitely.
Okay, so all right, well let's do that. And I talked on the phone about your buddy John, and about the hair. Right now we're just about to start airing our TV show on the Fox Network here in Central California, and I'm hoping that once it goes national, we're going to have a budget. And when we get, because right now we don't have a budget, but when we do have a budget, we're going to have money to do things. And what I want to do is I want to test some of that hair. The hair belongs to you guys, okay? So if this comes back what I think it is, you guys are going to be multi-gazillionaires with a book deal and a
Bigfoot
movie
rock
deal,
stars.
and you guys are going to be Bigfoot rock stars.
Yeah.
I just want people to know that Bigfoot is real. Here we have hair that finally came back, and it tests this and this and this. Tell your buddy John, I know he's watching us right now, to make sure that that hair is in a safe place. Don't get it contaminated. Don't touch it as much. How long has it been since you guys had this hair?
It's been about 2.5 years, 2 to 3 at the most.
It should still be okay, I'm thinking.
Maybe.
Sometimes we'll see what happens, because sometimes it degrades itself, and you can't get the DNA out of it that you need to get. So
But they could still like compare it with all the hair.
No,
of
we
the
know
other
where to get
animals.
more,
Yeah.
seriously.
Oh,
Cool,
dude.
all right.
Okay. Okay.
Seriously.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, dude, this was awesome. I enjoyed the heck out of this, and I'm pretty sure our viewers did as well, all over the world. You have experienced what we have experienced, and I felt it in your voice, and I got goosebumps when you were talking about feeling the roars in your stomach, because that's what we felt. We had a guy that went with us that did not believe in Bigfoot, and to this day, he's almost to the point where he says, okay, there's a Bigfoot, but he felt the roars, and he looked at me, and he started cussing big time. He says, what the beep is that? And, this guy's a mountain guy. He had never experienced anything like it, and he finally experienced it, and now he's hooked. And what you described is what we felt, and it was awesome. And this is awesome. I appreciate you coming on and telling everybody. Let's go out and have a drink. I'll call you maybe tomorrow, tonight, or after work or something.
Yeah, anytime, man. Anytime.
All right, we'll call, and then we'll meet up maybe at the end of this week sometime, and we'll just go out and just talk, and then we'll make arrangements here that we'll find out when we can go up, and you guys can take us up, and we'll go. We'll do it.
Okay, we'll go ahead and try to get some evidence and some pictures and some recordings, and
Right on.
so we can do.
Absolutely. Okay, Anthony, thank you very much, dude, and
All right,
I will call you
thanks,
this week. Okay, take care, dude.
Take it easy, bye.
See ya.
Bye.
That's what it's all about.
I can tell you're getting excited.
That's what it's all
Like-
about right there. Okay, guys? I mean,
It feels good, like when you talk to somebody and they are. It almost is like you're reliving it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like
the roars. I mean, when you started talking about the roars and feeling it in your
Yeah,
stomach, dude,
yeah.
how many times have we said that here on the air about that roar that we felt?
well, a lot of people don't even
They don't get it.
And then when they hear it, they're like, "Oh, that's not all that great." But see, he gets it because he felt it.
Right.
Like when we're with Christina up at the
Right.
at Thule, what you're hearing, even the recording,
Doesn't
is
give it justice.
no.
It's-
It just to know that it is a Bigfoot, though.
right.
It's not.
A person, it's
Yeah.
not a deer, it's not a mountain lion, it's not a bear, because they
Nope.
just don't do that. The last time I heard a roar like that and I felt it in my stomach was the last time I watched King Kong
Yep.
and had the bass going on the surround sound.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like.
That's what it is like.
Okay, we have this person from Montana. Is
Yeah,
calling
he
in.
has a Bigfoot story.
Hey, you're on the air with Jeffrey and Alan. Who's this from Montana or Missouri?
How you guys doing tonight?
Oh, good.
My name's Doug.
Doug. What's going on, Doug?
Hey, I got a story for you guys. I've never shared this with anybody other than my family and my close hunting buddy. But we live up here in the north part of Missouri, northern part. And we're pretty avid hunters. You know, I usually take off from like November to January, and we hunt everything from deer to bobcats to you name it. So we've got a hunting property about 40 miles north of where I live, and we've got a pretty secluded cabin out there. And it's probably about 10 miles in every direction from the nearest town or anything. You know, no real urban areas up there at all. And it's mainly agricultural land, a lot of hills. And I've been going up there for the last 15 years, you know, hunting every year.
Cool.
And last year, me and my hunting partner had something happen we had never experienced in our entire life. I've got two hunting dogs that I take everywhere with me. They're actually hog dogs, but they're Dogo Argentinos. I mean, these dogs are afraid of nothing. So we've been out walking the fields all day, got in that night, and got in the house there, the little cabin we got. There's no power to it. There's a generator that runs to it, but that's about it. And we were just kind of sitting there, BSing around the fire there, talking about, what we was going to do the next day and this, and that, and the other. And I thought I had heard something walk across the porch. It's just a little outcrop porch in this cabin. And as soon as I heard it sound like a thud on the porch there, both of my dogs jumped up. And like I said, these dogs are taking mountain lions. They're not afraid of anything. Both my dogs jumped up. They kind of headed towards the door, and they kind of paused. And they looked back at me. They looked at my hunting buddy Rob, and they kind of backed up for a second. And both of them started whimpering. Went back over by the chair and laid down. And I said, "What the heck?" So first thing I did was, grab the firearm. Kind of went up and looked out the door, and I didn't see anything. And Rob kind of looked out the window there, and he didn't see anything. I said, "What the heck do you suppose it was?" He's like, "I don't know, man." So we kind of brushed it off, didn't think much about it. And we got ready to go to bed that night. And it was about 10:30, 11 o'clock, and I started hearing something hitting the roof. It's like somebody throwing rocks at the roof of this thing. And I told Rob, I said, "Man, there's something out there." So I got both them dogs up. They would not even so much as go near that door. They didn't want nothing. They didn't want to go outside. They didn't know what was out there. I assumed they didn't know, but whatever it was scaring them. So, I put my boots on, grabbed my rifle, Rob grabbed his, and we headed out the door and got flashlights and spotlights and whole 9 yards. Shine them around, didn't see anything, but we stood there probably 10 minutes, kind of just shining across the fields and up in the hills. And about, 10 minutes went by. Nothing, didn't hear anything. As soon as we turned them lights on, turned around to go back in the house there, we hear this gut-wrenching howl come out of them hills. And I turned to look where it kind of came from, the general direction. And whatever it was big enough that it was peeling through timber, and I could hear the tree limbs snapping like it was something big moving through the woods. I got back in the house there, and I latched up both them dogs, and we kind of went out the door. I told him, I said, "We're gonna run this thing down, see what the heck it is." And I turned them dogs loose, and I got commands. They know that I say something, they do it. I tried to tell both them dogs to head out there and fetch up whatever was out there. And they wanted no part of it. So whatever was out there was big enough, they were scared of it. So, this has been 2 years ago, I guess it was. When last year was 2 years ago. So,
wow.
We didn't really say much to each other about it. I mean, we just kind of talked amongst ourselves, and, we mentioned to our wives here and there.
Was that
And last year, Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. I'll continue on. No, my bad.
So last year, deer season rolled around, and typical thing. We packed all our gear because usually we just take off and leave our wives and go up there and hunt. And so we packed all our gear and packed the dogs, and we headed up there to the farm. And we'd probably been up there for about 3 or 4 days, I guess it was. And I had one of those big igloo 128 quart coolers that I had a bunch of food in, and I left it out in the back of the truck that night. I just didn't think about grabbing it. It didn't have anything perishable in it. It was mainly fruit and some peanut butter and that kind of stuff. But we got up that next morning, and that cooler had been. It literally looked like somebody had grabbed the top of this cooler and just ripped it completely in half. I mean, I'm not talking like tore the lid off. I mean, ripped the cooler in half from end to end. I could see marks in the bed of my truck or something had clawed at it. And I told Rob, I said, man, I didn't hear nothing. He said, I didn't hear a single thing in all night long. So we went and got some game cams, placed them up, all the way around the perimeter of the house there. And 2, 3, 4 nights went by, nothing, didn't hear anything. About the 5th or 6th night, it was just right after sundown. So it'd been about 7:30, 8 o'clock. I put the fire out that was outside on the ground, and as soon as I dumped water on it and turned around and head in the house, we hear that gut-wrenching kind of, it's not really a howl, it's more of kind of like a growl, like a deep, deep growl.
Yeah.
But there was 2 of them this time. And I kind of turned around to see where I was coming out of, and I turned the dogs loose. And, they took off running towards the hills, and they probably made it about 30, 40 yards, and they both stopped and kind of sat there for a second. And both of them come back with their tails down. They didn't want no part of it. Whatever was in there, they didn't want to, they didn't want to tangle with it. So I never did actually get to see what it was, but we drove to the closest town to where we hunt at there, and there's a filling station. It's kind of it's where all the farmers meet and have coffee every morning. And we went in to get some supplies, and we happened to be standing there, and there was a conservation agent in there that morning. And we knew him pretty well. And I asked him, I said, Jeff, I said, I'm going to ask you something. I said, I know it's going to sound nuts. I said, but has anybody ever, reported or seen or heard about, anything strange up here? He kind of looked at me. He's like, define strange. I said, well, I'm not going to go on a limb here and say that, it's a Bigfoot or nothing like that. And he stopped me. Right the second I said that, he goes, I'm going to stop you right there. I said, okay. He said, you just keep that to yourself and everybody will be happy. I said, okay. And I didn't understand. I was like, okay, is there something I need to know about? He said, well, we'll go outside and talk. So we went out in the parking lot. He didn't want to be around any farmers. I could tell he didn't want to talk around a bunch of farmers. And he said, yeah, he said, there's been multiple reports up here of, people said they've seen a bear. And it's not bear country. We don't have any. I mean, you may see one every 10 years or something to that effect. But, Missouri's typically not bear country. And he said, people report seeing bears. People reported seeing homeless men, up in the timber, that stand 7 feet tall. I was like, really? I said, well, we've been having a problem over there at our place where we hunt at. And I kind of told him where he was at. He knew kind of the general direction, And he said, well, I'm just going to tell you, he said, you're not the first person I've talked to from that area that's having a sighting or whatever you want to call it. So, deer season's quickly approaching here, and I'm ready to go, but I'm kind of getting second thoughts, because this has been 2 years in a row this has happened. So
Right.
yeah.
Man, go.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not afraid of nothing like that. I don't,
Right.
I don't worry nothing about like that. But it's one of those situations where you just don't exactly know what you're dealing with.
Right. Right. No.
Yeah.
And I get a lot of people, especially all the time, telling me that they're nice. That they're real nice, and we should be just not worried about them or nothing.
If they would hear, or if they would hear what we all heard then they would definitely change their mind completely.
I think they would be more careful.
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah.
when your dog won't even get up.
Right.
Especially like, what kind of dog did you say? Like a Mastiff, right?
Yeah, they're Dogo Argentinos, which are bull mastiffs. They're just bred
Yeah.
for hunting.
Man, them things are,
I mean-
they're bigger than a Saint Bernard. That's how big these
Yeah,
dogs
they
are.
weigh about 160 pounds apiece.
And they don't even go after it. Two of them.
Well, I'll tell you,
Usually fearless. You know.
what worried me the most is that cooler. You know, I ran over them coolers with my pickup and didn't tear them up.
Do you still have that?
Thing was just.
Do you still have it?
Oh, yeah, I still got it.
Oh,
I
dude,
still got it.
you need to take a picture, several pictures of it, and you need to send it to me.
Okay.
I am
can do that.
so. Oh, yes, thank you. All right, that's awesome. Oh, good goosebumps.
Yeah, I mean,
All
it
right,
was
now
literally
my turn.
ripped from end to end, tore completely in half, like something just split it down the middle. And I thought, what in the world happened to this thing?
Oh my God. Okay, you need to take some pictures of that.
can
And
do that.
okay, on the chat, you want to text it to me or do you want to email me those pictures?
Email.
You know what? I have to get them out of my barn tomorrow.
That's fine.
It's dark here now.
No,
so
that's
I'll have
no.
to- I'll-
Yeah, you can do that later. So what we'll do is
I can email them to you. I got you guys' email.
oh, sweet, that'll work. All right, you email them to me, and then next Sunday I will let everybody witness this ice chest that you're talking about.
I've got like 27 cameras up right now up there at
Ooh.
the farm. I haven't checked for about 2-3 months.
Wow.
So I'm kind of hoping I can pull cameras and see if we ain't got something.
Okay. Yeah. Now let me tell
You
you.
know, this time of year, all the crops are in. You know,
Right.
and there's so many deer on our property. I mean, we hunt 1,800 acres that we own, and you know, you can literally drive through the field at night and throw a rock and hit deer. You know, and we found mangled carcasses. We thought maybe it was just coyotes or badgers.
No.
You know, I don't know exactly what's killing them, eating stuff up there, but you know, it's just one of those things you would never think that it wasn't something normal
Right.
until something unnormal happens. So
Right. Well, if you find carcasses of deer, that's a Bigfoot, man. They're
Yeah,
they're
especially like if their leg, like one of the legs is ripped
Oh yeah,
off.
there you go.
Because we'll find legs up where the Bigfoots are. We won't never find the deers, but we find a leg. It'll be just
Really?
twisted off. Yeah, and I kind of like sometimes I'll find 2 or 3 in a 100-yard like square area, and I'm coming to the realization that that's how they keep their food fresh, right?
we've got
They hunt it down
our
and then they just
property-
rip the leg off and throw it down, and then they can come back for the deer because it didn't run away.
our property's split in half by a river. So we've got 900 acres on one side of the river and a little over 800 on the other side of the river. And like I say, it's a pretty secluded area. There's not anybody. I mean, there's nobody living within probably almost 5 miles. No farmhouses or anything to that effect. It's pretty much all agriculture, but there's a lot of timber. I mean, there's big hills there, that's, there's nobody in.
Well,
Right.
they'll use that river like a highway. I mean, they can swim like no tomorrow. They can swim, and if it's not real deep, they can walk through it. But they'll use it all night long. They'll be in your yard for a couple of weeks, and then they'll move down that river to somebody else's wherever
So-
the food's at.
Well, let me
Right.
tell you something. You got 27 cameras or 25 cameras. As soon as if you get something, dude, you know who you're gonna call, right?
Oh, absolutely. I'll
Yeah.
get a hold of you guys. If I see something on there out of the ordinary, I'll
All
first
right.
one to call you. So.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, you know what? I appreciate you calling. I thank you very much for watching our show.
Anytime, guys. I appreciate your show.
Oh, thank you very much. And like I said, send me those photographs, and I guarantee you, for all those who are watching right now, I will air it, or take that back. I will let everybody look at these photographs next Sunday's show. All right.
Will do.
All right.
guys.
Wait,
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
what was your name again?
My name's Doug.
Doug. Okay. Thanks, man.
Thanks, Doug.
All right. Thanks a lot,
Okay.
guys.
See you, Doug. Bye.
He's the fearless one in chat.
And this is why we do this. I mean, come on, that's awesome. I can't wait to see those ice chests.
Ah, man.
If he says they were ripped in half, okay.
Well, we already seen that they can pick up a telephone pole and move it.
And move it without leaving tracks.
We've seen some things they can do, like breaking trees this big around,
Right.
snapping them off at 8 feet. I mean, they do carnage to a forest. I mean, that a lot of times that's how you could tell you're in their areas. You get into an area and the forest is destroyed looking.
Right.
And you're like, what in the world? You know, a storm didn't do that.
No.
I mean, it's just absolute destruction.
Yeah, and depending on the elevation, if people say, well, it was the weight of the snow that bent that tree over.
What if we're below the snow line?
Exactly.
And the most it gets is 3 inches.
Right.
Maybe once a year for like a couple of days.
Right. And right now with the drought, especially here in the
got any.
Sierras, so if you're going to tell me, it was the weight of the snow of last year, I'm going to say you're smoking the crack, dude. Man. Okay. See, it's awesome to hear straight from the person because, by listening to both these guys, they've experienced what we have experienced. It's
Heck yeah, you could feel it.
You could feel it. It's not, they're not making this stuff up, you guys. Absolutely not. This stuff is real. There are monsters out there. Until we figure out what they are, I'm going to call it a monster. All right? This stuff is not supposed to be real. I used to watch action theater on Channel 26 when I was growing up. Those are monsters.
The creature of the Black Lagoon.
I would never have thought in a million years today I am doing this. I am actually looking for monsters. And eventually, you guys, I swear, eventually, a picture or a video is going to show up on our doorstep, and you're going to watch it right here on this show. Because that's what this show is all about. That's my intention.
His dog's name's Cain and Abel.
that doesn't fit to the Bible and the Nephilim and the whole 9 yards. So, because, by doing this show, people like that are going to come out of the woodwork and they're going to want to tell the story. Why? Because we're not going to make fun of you.
We've been waiting. We actually been waiting for this. We've been wondering how come people don't call. We know their stories. We know people are out there with them.
Wait until we get on television, you guys. I'm telling you right now. Wait until we get, and that's going to be next month for the people in Central California. Our first episode should air at the end of September. We just finished shooting some more ins and outs intros last Tuesday here at the studio, and we've got just about 9 completed.
Yeah, close.
All right. And for all those people who are around the world who are not here, you will get to see these as well. Just give us time, and we will make it available for everybody. But
plus we're not stopping this.
No, we're going to continue doing this because I'm going to tell you why. The people who run the television networks are only going to allow us to talk about specific subjects. The stuff that we talk about here that really get us in trouble, like conspiracy theories.
Well, we might have overstepped it tonight.
Well,
even.
yeah, well, but you know what? Bigfoot is a subject that
we already went. We went longer with the one guy and no commercials than
knocking?
ever. Sound like it?
Someone knocking? Huh? Who's that? Who? Oh, hey, Keith. Oh, I'm on the air right now. Okay. What? Give you my number? That was weird. So, okay. So that's what I'm talking about. Eventually, people are going to come out, and they're going to want to get a hold of us. And then they're going to say, hey, come here, Jeff. I'm going to go, yeah. 30 years ago, I was over here, and I took a picture of something that I think you need to see. Or 10 years ago, I was up here in this area, and I got this video that you need to see. Because they are out there. They are out there, you guys. I guarantee you they're out there. And I can't wait to bring them out and show you guys. because it's my intent here is to blow you away and to make you a believer if you're not already. All right. Okay, we're going to continue on. Heidi's not going to be on tonight. She is helping a friend move. So we're going to go ahead and I got other stuff that I want to talk about, and we're going to get into it. All right, here we go. All right. Let's change the Bigfoot subject, and let's go to ghost. Hey, we don't talk about spirits and ghosts very often.
Not lately.
Not lately, but...
We have our moments.
Sure. But my 24-hour hotline, again, has been ringing off the hook. You know what? I've been saying we have a 24-hour hotline, but I don't announce it. I'm going to announce it right now. You know what? You guys should actually program this number in your phone, cell phone, because the next time you run into a monster or you see something in the sky and you get a good photograph of it on your cell phone, text it to this number, because it will go directly to me. Or if you have a story, if you have some top secret information that you want to blow the lid on, then call me on it. All right? The number that I'm talking about is area code 559-287-8367. One more time, 559-287-8367. The last four numbers represent the letters UFOS. Yes, UFOs. I did that on purpose so it could be easy to remember. All right. Now, that number is on the website. We have a website. What is it, Jeff? It's paranormalcentral.net. Paranormalcentral.net. There's also a place on there for contact. If you don't want to call me, that's fine. Send me a little note. The form on there is really simple. All you have to do is type in your email, your name, and then it gives you a big old space to write down whatever you want to send me. Send it. I will get it personally. If you want it to go to Alan, well, send it to me and say this is for Alan, then I'll send it to him. If you want to send it to Danny, I'll send it to Danny. If you want to send it to Heidi, well, then I'll send it to Heidi. No problem. We're here for you guys. If you guys want to spill your guts, I'm here. I'll put you on the couch and I'll listen to you. Because let me tell you, you're not crazy.
No.
This stuff is real. Yeah. Now let's talk about this ghost and spirits and evil situation that's going on. I just got 3 calls within the past 3 days. Actually, no.
So we got
24
somebody
hours.
said there's no audio. We have audio, right? I think we do.
We better have audio.
I mean, everybody else is saying we do.
Okay, so we're good. All right. Within 24 hours, and I think this was like Thursday, I got 3 calls. And every single call had to do with evil something spirit in their homes. One call, actually it was a text, and it came over from a friend of mine. Her name is Joni. I'm not going to say her last name. But she actually graduated with her and her brother, Joni and Frankie. Well, should I? Yes. Yeah, screw it. Frankie and Joni Gonzalez. You guys all, if you guys are in Sanger, then you guys probably all know who I'm talking about. Well, Joni lives in Anaheim, California. And I guess for the past 10 years, now, you know, they have a nice home. All right, we're talking really nice home, Anaheim, probably Anaheim Hills. And they've lived there for 10 years. And what she said when she texted me over is that for those 10 years, they have been experiencing what they have been witnessing, actually, I should say, is a lady in their home. All right, a spirit of a lady. And when her daughter, at a younger age, you know, she used to have night terrors, and, you know, everybody has night terrors. I don't want to say everybody. Let me take that back. But she had night terrors, and she would say she would see this person in her room. Well, you know, obviously, when you say a ghost, or you say, you know, when your daughter says she's seen something, you know, you don't know what to think. Let me tell you something. You know, they are a very big-time Catholic family. All right, so, you know, we know there's evil, obviously, because there's good. When you have good, there's got to be evil. All right, it's a fact. All right, now, for the longest time, you know, they've had this lady, but I guess it's been getting a little bit worse now. And what I mean by worse is they've been witnessing her more. Joni's brother, Frankie, was visiting them in Anaheim and staying in he was sleeping in an extra bedroom. It had 2 beds. He was sleeping in one bed, And I guess he woke up and he saw that lady sleeping in the other bed. Now that would give me the creeps. Well, I guess the next morning he said, that's it. I'm not staying here anymore. That lady freaked me out last night. And Joni said, okay, well then what do I do? Well, Joni was talking to her mom here in Sanger. And her dad said, well, why don't you call Jeff? Hello? Okay, so Joni texted me. And she told me, and actually I talked to her on the phone. And she was telling me what was happening. So I told her what to do as far as what to say to hopefully get rid of this whatever was in their home. I told her what to say. All right? She wrote it down. I guess that night before sundown, she said the words in the sentence as I told her to say it, and the power went out. A transformer blew in front of the house, knocked the block out. All right? And she texted me back, and then I didn't get it that night, but the next morning I read it, and I'm going, I think we pissed her off because, and her sons are like in their junior and seniors now in high school. They go, Mom, you pissed her off, and they were upset. But she found it kind of odd that the power blew only in the block, but in the transformer was in the front of their house, and the power company had to go out there and fix it, and they were out in front of their house fixing it. So as of this morning, everything is quiet.
Usually they mess with electrical stuff.
Well, when what I told her to say, and she said it, obviously got rid of it and put it to the boundaries outside their property line.
Which put it right at that.
Which obviously that's evil, whatever was there. The only way they could get back at the family was to knock the power out.
Yeah.
Okay, now was it a coincidence? Let's talk about this. Was it a coincidence that the transformer blew in front of their house as soon as she said what I told her to say to get rid of this evil spirit? I don't know. It's very coincidental that this occurred right after she finished saying what I told her to say. Mm-hmm. All right? Right now she says that everything is quiet. They haven't seen anything. Now, her dog on Thursday, but before then, would not come back in the house. For some reason, it stopped coming in the house. It was scared to come back in the house. She said it stopped coming back in the house, Jeff, and we don't know why. And we think it's that lady. So after she said what I told her to say, obviously the power blew, and I'm sure the power company got it going again. That night, that dog was sleeping on the bed of their bed like it used to. Yes. And we have someone knocking on the door of the studio.
It's me.
What? Oh, that's all you want to come in here to say hi, whatever. And she goes, Jeff, it worked.
Take a double.
Yeah. Yeah. She goes, Jeff, it worked. My dog is now sleeping on the bed, on the foot of our bed like it used to, and it's not as scared anymore. So I think it worked, you guys. It worked. Now you guys are probably going, oh, it was just a coincidence. It's just a matter of mind, and it just, if you think it, then it will go away. Blah blah blah. You can sense when there's something not right in your home or around you, like Anthony was, feeling when he's up there. You have that sense of something's not right. And then when it goes away, you feel, wow, I feel different. It's not as, I'm not, I can breathe now, right? This is what they felt. This is how it felt in their home. So it worked. All right? It worked. Now, the other call that I had came in from, it was I want to say Ventura area, Santa Barbara, Ventura area. The area code came up that way. And he was saying he was, staying at somebody's house. I couldn't quite get exactly renting or staying for a little bit, but as of Friday when he moved in, it was off the hook. And he says things were moving around. He could see things, shadows or whatever. And so he was on the phone with me. And I started to tell him what to say. And then he told me to stop, wait. And I said, what's the matter? He says, things are really picking up right now in the house. He says, for some reason now, since I'm talking to you, it's letting me, it's interrupting. It's trying to get me away from talking with you. And I'm going, I was going to tell you that might happen, because it has happened several times before when I'm on the phone talking to the other side of the United States, trying to give them these 2 sentences to say, is because the evil in that house knows that I can tell. Now, I'm not a pastor. I'm not a priest. I'm not a holy man. All right, you guys? But there's 2 words in that sentence that when you say it and you really mean it, it's going to get rid of anything evil in your home. And it has worked every single time I have told it over the phone to whoever needs our help. It's worked. All right? And I got a text from Dolores, from Joni's mom, thanking me for what I did. And I should have put it up here. She goes, this is what she said. Shame on us for not believing in Jacqueline. I'm not sure what her daughter's name, but believing in her. Shame on us. Because she was telling them, this is going on. I need help, Mom. Or help, Grandma. Help. And this was going on. And she even said, shame on us for not believing in her. So when your child, I don't know how old it can be, 2, 3, 4, if they're telling you there's somebody in their room, or there's somebody, at nighttime touching them, and it's obviously not your family members, then there's something going on, and you need to take that and help them, because there's something there messing with your family, your child, and you need to help them. All right? So if you need that help, then you need to call me. You need to let me know. I will tell you what to say. Alan figured this out 3, 4, 5 years ago, and it has worked every single time. When we show up to a house, whatever's there that's evil will come right at Alan and say, get the hell off my property. There's no reason for you to be here, because they know he is the one who can get rid of it. And we figured it out what to say, and it's worked every single time. Okay, so our attentions in this show again is, and for those people who don't believe in God and don't believe in Jesus Christ, and here, this show, we talk about all that, guys. Whether you like it or not, we're going to do it. We talk about the Bible. Why? Because we think the Bible is the most paranormal book that has ever been written. Why? Because the stuff in the Bible is actually happening to this day. It is. So we're going to talk about it because it's cool. Are you kidding me? Something that they wrote thousands and thousands of years ago is happening today. So that's paranormal, right?
It's gonna get more paranormal than ever,
and it's happening right now.
I think the veil's about to be lifted. Whatever it is that keeps us from seeing the other dimension is about to be removed.
Well, let's talk about that. We've been talking about the date September 23rd to September 28th. Now, to this day, I haven't said, something major, big time evil is going to happen to that day. What I have been telling you, what I have been showing you, is these dates are popping up in all these movies, and I've been showing you them.
And we don't know why. We don't know what's happening.
Yeah, we don't.
We're not saying anything's happening. We're saying they're saying it is.
But we're also telling you what is going to be happening on that week, September the 23rd to September the 28th. And what I mean by that is there are things happening in the United States during that week that is very interesting to us.
And the world.
Like the Pope coming to the United States.
And CERN.
And the CERN.
That's not even here.
Right.
That's
and something's supposed to happen with the CERN. For some reason that week is supposed to be major. Now, you know what happened yesterday? Oh, I take that back. You know what happened Thursday, and you know what happened Friday. The Dow Jones dropped almost 1,000 points. It was ridiculous. First, it was 359.2. The second day, it was 539 point something on Friday. I am scared as hell to wake up tomorrow to find out where it's going to be at 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock on the East Coast time when it opens, because I have a feeling the rest of the world, we're talking China, Japan, all the other commodities on the other countries are all going to. It's heading for a downward spiral, and this was predicted. Jonathan Cain was saying. Kahn, I'm sorry,
Yeah,
Jonathan Kahn is saying something about every how many years I'm trying to remember.
He's talking about the Shemitah.
The Shemitah. Well, but when he's talking about the Shemitah, it's also talking about the debt. The debt.
Right. They wipe away the debt.
The debt.
And so far, it happened 2 times.
So far.
Here. And the first time it dropped, it was the worst one ever. I think it was like 2008 or something like that, right?
It was 2008 and another one before that, too. But I think those were also on the Shemitahs.
They were.
They were, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Now.
And this one's like even more. This one has even more to it than the last ones. I mean, there's.
I think
it's supposed to be some more stuff to it.
I think it's going to fall even more tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
but we're not saying it. We're not saying it is. We're saying
it looks like it. I'm not the only one.
And it done it already twice.
Yeah, I'm not the only one saying this, you guys. There's somebody. There are people in that business who've told me this is not good.
No.
This is absolutely not good. Now, there are rumors why the Pope is coming to talk. Okay, let me rephrase that. The Pope is coming down to New York, and I believe it's the 23rd all the way to the 25th, the 26th. He's having a meeting with President Obama at the White House on the first day. The following day, he's having a meeting. He's talking with Congress, the representatives in Congress. He's having a meeting with all of them. After that, the Pope is also having a meeting with the United Nations. After that, he is having a massive mass. He's holding a mass, outdoor mass in Philadelphia. Now, somebody told me, I can't tell you who, but he is going to try to push a one world order, from what I understand. Now, I don't know how factual that is.
That's what the Pope is doing?
That's what he's saying. That we need to come together and create this one world government.
Right.
That's what he's going to suggest. I believe this is what's going to happen.
Well, I know our government's been saying we need that for a long time.
With the drop in the Dow Jones, this is a very good time to start a one world currency. If everything drops that low.
Well, did you hear about Russia, China? Like, there's a few countries, and Russia pumps like 50% of the oil of the world, right? And they're trying to break away from this World Monetary Fund thing and create, because these guys mess with everybody's economy and they crash you. Like, they just put. Russia's barely coming out of a tweak that they did, and they made them all poor, right? I mean, they wiped them out,
right?
And they want to break away from these bankster guys and do their own money, because they don't want to have these guys being able to, crash their economy whenever they want.
Right.
They want to get to you, and I think China, they're doing the same thing to China. They're trying to put the screws to China, so China, will quit doing whatever it's doing, and so they're like they're hurting people all around the world, and they're trying to break away from it, but in so doing, it's causing ours to crash now.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. So, within the next couple of weeks, actually between now and September 28th,
yeah.
September 28th, you guys, we're on a roller coaster here. We're going to have a lot to talk about on this show. Most definitely. Not about monsters, not about ghosts, but about what's happening in government sense. And that's what I mean when when I say that when we get our TV show and it finally goes national, hopefully worldwide, God willing, that the networks are only going to allow us to talk about what you are now watching on History Channel and National Geographic. And that's your everyday chupacabras and Bigfoots and Sasquatches and flying Mothmen and Jeepers Creepers and your ghost, right? And your evil spirits, because that stuff to them is fun stuff. But when it comes to talk about the stuff that we're talking now, the Dow Jones and government conspiracies, they're not going to want to allow us to talk about that at all on TV. So that's why we're going to keep this internet show, and we're going to continue talking about that stuff here. All right? So, it's going to get exciting between now and September 28th. Now, I think I put something here on the desktop that I want to show everybody. Let me look for it. Maybe not. Maybe not.
I have to take a little break
for
a second. I gotta stand up. I gotta.
Okay, no problem. All right, so I'm gonna continue going here. Facebook is awesome because there are people who are into the stuff that we talk about here all the time, obviously, and people put up great posts. And I remember 3 or 4 years ago when Facebook just started, I remember these videos that people would put up, and then all of a sudden, I would never see them again. I don't remember what they were about. I don't remember what they were called. One just popped up recently that I remember looking at the video, 3 years ago or 4 years ago, right? Somebody found a mummy in Nevada near Fallon, Nevada. What I want to do right now is I am going to show you the video on the screen, and I'm going to play the audio, Keith, don't sweat it, on my cell phone, so that way people can at least listen to it, and you're going to be able to listen to it. Now, the mouth part, it's not going to be synced up, you guys, so just, like I said, bear with me when you guys are watching the video on the screen. You're not going to, it's not going to be synced up with the audio because I'm going to play the audio on my cell phone so that way the people at artbell.com can listen to it, because they have to listen to this. All right? So I want you to hear this, and we're going to go ahead and play it.
A mummy three times older than King Tut has been discovered in a mummy 3 times.
All right, here we go.
Older than King Tut has been discovered in the Nevada desert. It was found in 1940, about 12 miles east of the town of Fallon. It's a discovery that could possibly unlock some of humankind's early mysteries. But tonight on special assignment, Channel 3's Ben Sterler tells us scientists may never get a chance to unlock those mysteries.
A mummy that may reveal the secrets of an even older society. One that dates back to the dawn. A mummy may reveal the secret.
Extremely significant.
Water.
This is unprecedented. We haven't had a find of this importance in my lifetime.
One thing that makes the mummy, known as the spirit caveman, so important are these fine hand-woven fabrics discovered at the burial site.
These textiles represent an extremely sophisticated ability to weave fabric by hand in a time where we didn't realize that people were doing that before.
The mummy was discovered tightly bound up in this matting. Out of respect for the dead, this photograph and this drawing are the only two pictures scientists will allow to be publicly displayed. Recent tests reveal that the mummy is 9,000 years old. That's 3 times older than any other mummy yet discovered in North America. That news has stunned archaeologists because a mummy can tell scientists how people back then lived, what diseases they had, even what food they ate. Scientists can get that information by studying the mummy's DNA. That requires cutting a small piece of tissue from the body. The mummy was discovered near Paiute Shoshone land. Tribal leader Moyles believes the mummy's spiritual journey has been disturbed. But scientists claim that the mummy is so old that he couldn't possibly be related to the Paiute Shoshones. This is an ancestor. That the mummy's tribe was here thousands and thousands of years. The mummy was before anybody else. Shoshone land. Moyles believes the mummy's spiritual journey has been disturbed, and that the spirit cannot find peace until the body has been properly reburied.
Narrow face, long face. Some Indians have some of those traits, but as a group, those are Caucasoid traits.
The two sides are now caught in a catch-22. One way to prove kinship is through the DNA test, but the tribe doesn't want that because it would require further disturbance of the remains. Whether or not scientists ever get to study the mummy is a matter for the U.S. government's Bureau of Land Management to decide.
The DNA evidence would be definitive.
Until a decision can be made, the mysterious spirit cave mummy will remain trapped in limbo. In Carson City, Nevada, Vince Sterla, the two sides are now caught in a catch-22. One way to prove kinship is through the DNA test, but the tribe doesn't want that because it will require further disturbance of the remains.
Any existing tribe in North America.
Yeah, it sounds like the mummy predated
Majority of the people that have people buried.
Well, there you go. I wanted you to listen to that because 9,000 years.
Whether or not scientists ever get to study the
a
mummy
9,000-year-old
is a matter
mummy
for the U.S. government's
But
Bureau
what
of Land
really
Management
piqued my
to
interest,
decide.
obviously, that was very important.
DNA evidence would
But
be
what piqued
definitive
my interest
for
is
ruling
that
out
Fallon,
certain groups.
Nevada.
You can't
If you guys
necessarily
pull
prove
up
with
Fallon,
it
Nevada,
which group it was, but
go
you
ahead,
can rule
Google
out
that or
contending
map.
parties.
Go to
Until a
MapQuest
decision
or
can be
Google
made,
Earth.
the mysterious spirit
Fallon,
cave
Nevada,
mummy will
we have
remain
a
trapped in
military
limbo.
base there.
Yeah, he's kind of in the legal, spiritual,
I
ethical
find it kind of
limbo.
interesting that when
In Carson City, Nevada, Vince
these
Sterla,
things are
Channel 3
found, like
reports.
for example, old
Mummies
ruins,
can't avoid the law and bureaucracy, it appears. Many archaeologists.
stuff like that, there's always a military base nearby. Why is that? Because I think they have found other stuff previously, and that's why they set up shop. Example, Fresno, California. All right? We've told you in the past what we found here north of Fresno. You know, those ruins. And it's, you know, Fallon, Nevada is not far from Fresno, you guys. I mean, we're talking, it's actually like between us and Area 51, really. It's that way, okay, over the ridge, over the mountains. And I just find it kind of, I mean, just is it coincidental that Fallon, Nevada, there's a military base there? I don't think so. I really don't. So I wanted to bring that to your attention because 9,000-year-old mummy is very, very old. All right. So we're talking who were these people? That's what I want to know. And you're not gonna probably ever know because the government is not gonna allow the DNA to be tested from it. They're not. So there you go. All right. Let's continue on. I'm looking at my notes and okay. There is a video again that just recently made itself known on the web, actually Facebook. And it's a video that was taken off the ISS, the International Space Station, and something was flying in the background where the video was being taken, and you see something. Now, when I saw this, I just about fell out of my chair, my sofa, whatever I was sitting down. I actually got up and I said, "What?" I thought something that I had was taken off of my computer and placed in this video. And you're probably going, "What the hell are you talking about, Jeff?" Okay, obviously I can't play the video for the Art Bell people, but I'm going to play it right now really quick for the people at the who are watching on live stream. And I'm going to narrate it here real quick. And here it is right here. Okay, this is off the ISS. You guys see this thing moving? All right, this was just taken recently, probably within the past couple of weeks from the ISS. You see that? Right there? Right. I'm going to back it up even more. Even more. All right, there it is. Now, I'm going to show you a photograph. And let's do the other one. How about this one? Don't you guys think that looks
like the shuttle?
Yeah,
like
but it isn't because our shuttles are not have been grounded now. We have not been flying shuttles now for quite a long time.
A long time.
A long time.
That we know of.
Well, I think people would see anything being blasted off that looks like a shuttle, and I think we would be aware of it. But Do you guys see this that I'm showing you now? Okay, let me go back to the video from the ISIS. And I'm going to pause it right.
It's like the same thing right there. It looks like the shuttle flying by the ISIS.
Okay.
Or ISS. Really,
all right.
not ISIS,
Okay.
you know.
Let's go back to the photograph in question that I just put up. 3 years ago, 4 years ago, we had a sighting here in Fresno, California. I got a call from a Robert Thorson, who is an avid sky watcher here in Fresno. He called me on my 24-hour hotline, said, hey, I've been looking at this object in the sky going on 2 hours now, and I have recorded it for a long time, and it's still there in one spot. And he told me to go out and look in a certain direction. I did. So did my wife, and we noticed this object very high altitude. We think it was in the atmosphere. It wasn't, below that. And I'm going to tell you why. Because after the fifth hour that we were witnessing this thing in the same spot, we saw planes flying. We're talking big jet airplanes, 747, 737s flying under this thing that was in the atmosphere. And these planes were leaving contrails or chemtrails, however way you want to describe them. And to us, it looked like they were trying to block us from looking at this thing. Why do I say that? Because other people who were on the phone and we were all networking, talking about what we were witnessing, because it wasn't just me and it wasn't just Robert, it was a lot of people. They're saying, Jeff, look at that airplane. It's leaving the contrails like they're trying to block it. Now, because I was posting this on Facebook, it was going out. NBC called me from Fresno. Jeff, we're outside right now with the camera crew. We're looking at this thing. What is it? They're asking me what this thing is. I told them, I don't know. But it's not close. It's way up there in the atmosphere. Hung up the phone with NBC. I got a call from KMJ 580 FM, and Blake Taylor, their news guy, called, or traffic guy at the time. And he watches me on Facebook. He's a friend. And you know what? Just to let you know, all of the networks here in Fresno follow me. Heavy. NBC, ABC, CBS, Fox. They all follow me. I have a lot of their anchors, their news crews, all camera guys. They all are friends with me. So they watch me like a hawk. And so they called me. They said, Jeff, this is, Blake Taylor from KMJ. I'm looking at this thing. What is it? I don't know. But there are literally hundreds and hundreds of people witnessing this thing right now. So the video that the ISIS captured that I showed you was the same craft that Robert Thorson got, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, that was in the atmosphere. When was the last year they started sending up the shuttle? I couldn't tell you. A long time.
Me either. A long time.
10 years?
Easy.
Maybe even farther than that. Okay. This all happened within the matter of 3 or 4 years, guys. So we know the space shuttle was not up there.
That we know.
But.
That we know
of. But.
Because they still shoot up Russian ones, don't they?
Oh, that I couldn't tell you.
I think they do. Even that they're still taking people in and out of the
space shuttle.
The space shuttle.
I'm sorry, the ISIS.
The ISS.
Right now, what's blowing me away is that if it was a space shuttle craft, these things when they're up in space, they're going around the Earth at a high rate of speed. This thing was in stationary position for about 6 or 7 hours, guys, that we were all looking at here in Fresno. Then it all of a sudden started to move, and it was up here at the west side, and all of a sudden it moved straight across, and it stopped. And everybody started calling me on the telephone going, Jeff, did you just see that? And we were going, yeah, we just saw what it did. And eventually we lost sight of it because it started to get dark, and we lost sight of it. So we're all tripping out. I mean, we were on Facebook. We were talking about this. We talked about it on my show the week following. I showed the video. There is a video of this on YouTube. God, if I don't know. See, Robert Thorson has filmed a lot of stuff over Fresno, and he has videos, hundreds and hundreds on the internet, on YouTube. I don't know what he called this one. I don't know.
Neither do I.
Or else I would tell you to go look for it. Go look for it. Fresno UFO Robert Thorson. You know what? After the show, maybe tomorrow, I will look for it and I will place the video on my wall on Facebook. And because there's a lot of people who are not friends, I will keep it and I will play for you guys next Sunday. All right. But I just find this. Are you kidding me? Did we film something in space that the ISIS filmed in space as well? That I'm not telling you that is aliens from outer space or Mars, but that could very well be a top secret aircraft that we have up there. But it's just awesome that we have almost identically the same craft that Robert got, that I got snapshots of that video. What you saw, the photographs right now that I showed you on live stream are snapshots off the video. Okay, Robert Thorson. Now you guys are probably going, man, that looks like it's really close. Robert Thorson, and to this day, I am still gonna say the guy's a freaking genius when it comes to freaking filming stuff at a far distance, and I'm gonna tell you why. He's been doing it a long time. He's been spending the late hour nights on the rooftop of his house.
He still does.
And he still does.
Yeah.
This guy, seriously, this guy can be running down the street with the video camera in one hand and zooming and focusing and everything with his freaking thumb like a gun. The guy is good at what he does. I have to admit, the guy is good. All right. And the reason why, and you see the clarity that came in from these photographs is because the guy knows how to zoom. This thing was a speck in the sky, but he was able to zoom in on it. It was awesome. And he's got some other good stuff, I have to admit. There's some stuff that we think are airplanes and they're balloons, but he has some stuff that I cannot identify. All right? They don't look like crafts that we have today.
In fact, it's been a while. He hasn't had anything, and then here lately, he's put up a couple of good ones.
Oh, has he?
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm not friends with him, so I wouldn't know. So obviously you are.
A couple of good ones.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
So he's still at it.
They're triangles.
Triangles.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there was a time several years ago where here in Fresno, California, before this show became what it is, people were witnessing weird crafts flying over Fresno for the longest time, and they would call me in on them. I would get them on the air. We would talk, 6-7 people at the same time talking, the story. Yeah, it was going this way, and the jets were chasing it. I mean, that's the stuff we were getting here. Then all of a sudden, it stopped, completely stopped. So I'm thinking that most of it was ours, and because of our networking, we were getting people out skywatching and getting these things. And when they would see something that wasn't normal, they would call my 24-hour hotline. I would put it out over the air on Facebook. It would go out. People would go outside with their video cameras, and they would get our top secret crafts flying over Fresno. But there are some times where these crafts would appear that didn't look like what we call top secret crafts, and then all of a sudden the jets out of the airport started to take off one by one, and then all of a sudden now you got these jets chasing these crafts over Fresno and over the mountain ridges, and these things leaving the jets in the dust. That has happened several times, and people have witnessed it who are fans of ours, who have been watching us for 7 years now, 6 years. They were here when we started this, and they know it. They know that this is the stuff that we used to get all the time. But it has come to a complete stop. Let me tell you, we have Area 51. And when I say, when I say at the beginning of the show, of every show, Paranormal Central at the bottom left-hand corner of the Nevada Triangle. If you go Google Nevada Triangle, there is, it's a triangle measured out in the Sierra Mountains, and Fresno happens to be at the bottom left-hand corner of that. And that's where, for some reason, we get most sightings of triangles.
They even called us Triangle Alley.
Triangle Alley, correct.
Mm-hmm.
the Fox Network actually did a world report on me and that triangle. It's actually on our website if you want to go check it out. It's national news, or on the link. It's on there. The Fox News here in Fresno did a story on me, and it went worldwide. How do I know this? New Zealand text or sent me a Facebook. What he was having breakfast or whatever, or lunch, and he was watching Fox News on New Zealand, and he saw my freaking face, and they were airing, that over there. So he took a snapshot of it on his TV and he sent it to me. It also went to was it Sweden? Yeah, Sweden, wasn't it? Who came down here? Sweden saw it, and they actually sent a news crew out to Fresno, California, and did a story on us. All right.
With Robert. We had Robert sitting on the roof.
Yeah. So they found it so interesting, they sent a news crew to Fresno, California. I had the KMPH Fox Network here in Fresno, heard about it, and they actually came to the house where they were doing the interview with me. And, Rich Rodriguez was interviewing. He's like, what the hell are you doing in Fresno? And he's going, well, we've heard so much about Paranormal Central and all the exciting UFO reports. That's why we're here, with their accent, Swedish accent. So I have photographs of all that. I will, if I can remember, I will put them up on here and show them to you.
There's a lot of that stuff I have on the website.
Do you?
And even links somewhere on there.
See, I don't know if we have any links. Oh, maybe of the Rich Rodriguez report? Oh, I don't know.
No. I mean, of the of all those things where you've been on, most of them I have on there.
Okay, because we never got the actual report from Sweden, though. They never. We don't have that.
But I have pictures of them, doing the shoot.
Okay, cool.
And I think of Robert sitting on the roof, and
sweet.
The guy was climbing up the ladder,
Right. Okay, so that's all on the website paranormalcentral.net. Look where it says national show. There's a link like that. Go click on that for pictures. So there you go. We get a lot of stuff over Fresno, and let me tell you why. Because people are now looking up.
Finally.
That is it. That is absolutely the only reason we are getting this, because people are now looking up. This is probably happening all over the world. There's this weird spacecraft flying over you, but when you walk out your front door to go to your car, to go to work in the morning, you're not looking up when you're walking to your car. You're looking straight. Or at nighttime when you get home, or whatever, there is no reason to look up. No reason. The times that we used to get all of these calls were from people who at nighttime are taking out the trash, who are outside having a smoke break, or taking out the trash, smoke break, or walking the dog, or walking around the block.
Right, doing walking for them.
It's because they're looking up. And that's when all these reports would come in. Every single time. So look up, you guys, whether it's in the daytime as well. You will see some crazy stuff in the daytime, but you have to look up. I don't care where you're at around the world, look freaking up. There's a whole different world up there. Trust me. All right, now let's continue on. Have you okay, let's talk about let's talk about this. This has nothing to do with paranormal. I'm going to take you to conspiracy theories here. All right?
Cool.
All right. The Ashley Madison website. You guys have been hearing that now the past couple days. What is that, Jeff? The Ashley Madison website.
I think it has a little bit to do with paranormal. Only because it's bringing something's happening, right, and that's part of the little piece of the puzzle in that.
Now, for those who don't know, Ashley Madison is a website, and it is a website for people who are married or who are not married who wish to go and have affairs. That's what this website is about, right? 37 million people signed up for this website. Now, I heard yesterday or the day before that someone who got busted paid $1,000 to get in. Now, step back. It's 37 million times. Now, is it really $1,000? I don't know, because I didn't sign up, so I don't know the numbers. All right, but somebody was telling me it's $1,000 to get into this. So 37 million times $1,000. How much money is that? This has nothing to do about conspiracy theories. I'm just throwing that out there.
37 million times 1,000.
And which is, 37 billion dollars?
Something like that.
Or is it more than that? It's like, that's something that I need to actually get down and get a calculator for. But that's
Too
a lot
many
of money.
zeros for me.
Yeah, exactly. But okay, let's go past the money situation. They were the people who hacked in, got obviously all these emails. A lot of these emails were from government officials, from people who are very high up in offices. And I found this kind of interesting that 2 nights ago. Now, I'm not saying, I don't know what happened here, but it made the news that Gene Simmons, the FBI or somebody, actually got in and was looking into their computer systems at Gene Simmons' house, right? But the police or the FBI, whoever's involved, are pretty much coming out and say Gene Simmons and his family has nothing to do with it has to do with child porn. Okay, that's what they were there for. But it has nothing to do with them because apparently Gene Simmons was out of the country on tour. And I don't know about the family. Maybe the family was with him. So somebody was inside and somebody was messing with their computer networking or whatever. But what I kind of find it interesting is that, part of the theory of September, and this is out there, you can Google it, it's out there, that the cabal is heading downward. Is the good guys are after the people who are involved in the cabal. And we're talking the New World Order, we're talking the Illuminati, the people who are in charge of everything in this world. So what if,
like they're being taken out?
Yes.
Or brought to the light, or
right.
even sued, or put in jail.
And that's what a lot of people are saying is going to be happening now into the future. That we're going after them. The good guys are. So is this Ashley Madison thing part of it? Because we're talking government, military. We're talking people way high up in office who have had accounts in this website. Let's just say this is a good way to figure out who these people are and to embarrass them and to get them out of office if they're way up there. Okay, because we're going to be seeing a lot of this, I think, in the near future. And I don't know if Ashley Madison's website, I don't know if that's what happened, if that's what's happening as far as, but that's my theory, is that everything is coming out in the open now. It is. I've heard stories about, the good guys are taking out the cabal, the New World Order. They've had it with them. They've had it. So let's say, and now I'm going way over to conspiracy theories. All right, I'm going to shoot to the top, guys. If you guys think I'm smoking the crack, maybe so, but I'm going to say it anyways because
you drink too much Pepsi
that
already.
That could be it, with a little some extra in it. Okay? All right, now, again, I'm going to speak my mind. I'm going to tell you what might be occurring, and again, it could be way out in left field, but this is what this show is about. I'm going to state my mind. I'm going to give you my 2 cents. Whether you think I'm smoking it, then I might be smoking it. But lately, we've been on, and I've been showing you things that you would have never seen anywhere else in the world except for here. So I'm going to tell you my 2 cents on what I think is going to happen. All right? Okay, here we go. And this has to do with evil. All right? This has to do with pure evil. And the Bible, maybe a little bit. What if? And I've heard this, and you've heard of this too, Alan.
I know I have.
Okay, that the reason why they decided to build CERN was to bring evil in.
They want to. It never was intended to be looking for a particle.
Right.
It always was intended to be a gateway to
somewhere else.
Yeah.
Okay.
To bring something in.
To bring something in. Right. That's where I'm going with this. So, what if the intentions of the NWO or the Cabal or the Illuminati is to bring in, through CERN, if it works, to open up a portal to bring in something very bad. That has been working with the Cabal, the Illuminati, for hundreds and hundreds of years. Right? What if? Now, it's just, there's a video out there right now, but there is, a lot of things happening in those days. There's a lot of festivals, a lot of music festivals, a lot of weird stuff. On September the 26th in New York, Central Park, there is, and I've showed the poster here on this show, right, that they are having a music festival with 4 bands: Coldplay, Beyonce, I forgot the other 2. There's one more, Lady Gaga, I think, is one of them, and then one more. But the 3, Beyonce, Coldplay, and Lady Gaga, very Illuminati friendly, I should say. If you go and Google or watch their videos, they're either making the symbols, showing the symbols of the Illuminati, the pyramid with the all-seeing eye. And if you go look at the poster that they have developed for this particular concert, which, mind you, is a free concert, but I believe you have to win tickets through radio stations and stuff like that. There is a big round red circle in the middle of this poster symbolizing nothing. But if you look at it, it is about, I'm trying to remember exactly, it's world, bringing the world together as one or something like that. It's the reason why they're having this concert in Central Park. And then you have this big round donut red circle in the middle that to me symbolizes CERN. That's what it looks like to me. All right? Go Google it. Go find that poster. And you'll see what I'm talking about. I put this poster up maybe 5 weeks ago on this show. This is the stuff that I'm finding that just, it's like going, what? That doesn't, it doesn't make sense. It makes sense, but it doesn't make sense. Like, why would they be doing it? And all this is occurring during that week of festivities between September the 23rd and 26th. Now, on September the 28th, we have the last blood moon of the year. And I believe, no, I think the Pope is having Mass on the 26th. But the 28th is the last, 26th is the last blood moon, or somebody Google that for me and put it on chat. Is the last blood moon on the 26th or 28th? I'm not sure.
I thought it was the 23rd. No, 26th.
Not the 23rd. It's somewhere up there in the upper Septembers. But it's just, you know what? There's a lot of crazy stuff happening now within the next couple, and then you have, like I said, the Dow Jones is going down. It's something's not right. Something is not right. And I am not the only one who feels this.
That's what I was relating to earlier in the show when I was talking about all this stuff on September 23rd. In September, I feel like that, Ancient Aliens is setting everybody up for the aliens to come and say, We're the ones that created you.
Okay.
We're your creators. We're here to save you from yourself, and all this NWO and all this crapola, right?
So we're talking here maybe, what's the word I'm looking for? A false, I don't know, false flag. The false.
It's going to be like a false religion.
A false message. A false. I don't want to say false flag.
Well, they're going to come in, the whatever that has been keeping us from seeing in this other dimension, that's going to be gone.
So we'll be
able to see the other dimension and everything, and then that's why the aliens have to come and say that they created us.
Okay.
And then they control all this stuff too.
Now, that is part of the September. There's a lot of people out there, mediums, psychics, they're all saying this is the ascension that we're going to have. Our third eye is going to open somehow.
Right.
Now, how is our third eye going to open? Now, for so many years, you guys, our governments they have given us stuff to inhale, to eat, to mess with our third eye. You know, all of our third eyes to this point are calcified because of all the stuff that we eat. You know, I believe, and I've talked about this before, that when you're born, you know, the pineal gland is in its purest form. And that's why I feel that the babies and the young kids at a younger age, they can see things that we can't. I mean, my son used to say he sees, you know, things that we can't see. And he probably felt things that we couldn't feel as well until a certain age where the pineal gland starts to get fuzzy and then eventually calcifies itself. And that's by the air that we breathe, the things that we drink, Pepsi, food that we eat. You know, I believe Monsanto plays a big part of this. And the biggest part is fluoride. Fluoride is a poison. We stopped taking fluoride. We stopped using fluoride a long time ago. And I've noticed that our health has not increased, has gotten better. You know, we don't get sick often anymore. We don't.
Or as often.
As often, thank you.
Right.
And I think, you know, by not taking these things that make you sick that they're giving us. I mean, they're putting fluoride in our waters, guys. You know, Germany, Hitler put fluoride in the Jewish camps to tame the prisoners.
See, I always wondered, you know, when I was growing up, like in the, I don't want to say how old I am, but in school, it was a big deal to learn about the Germans and all that, you know, because it was like the early 60s. And that wasn't that long ago, you know. So in school, we learned about, you know, Hitler and all this stuff. And a lot of the movies on TV were combat and, you know, Hogan's Heroes and stuff like that. It was all German stuff, right?
Right.
So when, you know, I was reading this stuff and I'd be like, were the Germans so afraid of the soldiers? It seemed like they were in on it, right? How did they fall for that? How did they fall for it? How did they let that happen?
Let what happen? The fluoride or what?
How did they let Hitler start doing all that stuff and then kill all the Jews and then be reporting them? And how did all that happen?
It's like they were afraid of him.
Okay, now
one person though. We're talking about one person, right?
Yeah. Well, a government.
Well, yeah, but.
And then I was sitting there the other day and I was thinking, you know, really, like, here I am wondering how they let that happen, especially after we did that minion thing.
Right.
And about the minions. And when I'm thinking about we're minions and all this stuff, you know, for our government and this new world order, and here we are letting it happen again. We're letting it happen. Now, is it because they put this stuff in the water and everybody doesn't care? You know what I mean? Like, they're just putting enough where you don't care just enough. You rather worry about what your Starbucks and getting your kids in the raise and, you know, your car. I mean, is that what's happening really? Or are we watching it happen again? And because of this, they just put enough of that stuff in the water where you don't care that much.
You know, he mentioned Starbucks. You know, the stuff now that you are watching on the media. What?
Hand me that. I need a little paper. I'm gonna write something down for you.
Okay.
But yeah.
Like, you know the media now, and I'm not saying all the media, but they're showing. They're showing news reports of stuff that just, you know, who cares? Who cares? Wow. So it's like, you know, and I'm going to go back to it. You know, you guys, I'm an animal lover, all right? I've had animals all my life. I've had dogs all my life. We've got 3 dogs and 2 cats, okay? But when this lion thing hit the media, Cecile, it was like they are taking everybody away from what's really happening behind the scenes, and now you're focusing on this lion, okay? And what's kind of weird, though, is I was just telling Ellen that Google Lionsgate portal. All right?
Yeah, and Bush. The Bushes. These dudes were German guys.
From what I heard, right?
Yeah, and then we bring it all over here, and we call it Operation Paperclip, and then we steal all their technology. And then actually their technology of the fluoride even.
Right.
I mean, and they're using it on us, and here we go again, right?
Well,
this is actually what we're seeing come undone. That cabal.
And this is the stuff we
And the
can't.
bankers
And
and
this
stuff.
is the stuff we can't talk about on TV.
Exactly. Like, we really can't.
Actually, we're probably shouldn't be talking about this at all until we get the TV show, but we're doing it anyways. But I heard that the Bush and Obama are actually related.
They are.
In blood. Oh, jeez. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So
Well, you can't even be a president unless you're related
to
what
somebody
they were
else.
Saying. Yeah, now that's before the Kennedy though. Kennedy was going to reveal everything about him, and then they popped him off, and then ever since then, it's been rigged. Like when I go into Walmart, you guys. How many people go in Walmart and they have these tables set up? You sign this petition and that petition. And
outside when you go outside, you mean?
Yeah, you know, it's like, why would I sign the petition? It hasn't mattered how I voted or what I signed in the last probably since I could vote.
Okay, well let's talk about. I mean, since we got
we only got like a minute or two.
No,
yeah.
we don't. We got about 10 minutes. Okay.
10 minutes.
All right, let's talk about this Trump thing that's going on.
Trump. Oh man, he's like taking
I
over.
don't give a crap what you think. This is what I'm gonna do, and so be it. We're gonna build a freaking wall the size of China, and I don't know where this is going. I don't. But right now he has like 40-something% of the voters say they're gonna vote for this guy.
See, I thought he was thrown in the mix to mess everything up.
You know what? He could be sabotaging everything.
I mean, like now. Like to make it where Hillary, who should be in prison but really is going to be the president somehow.
No, I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think, and I want to tell you why, because these emails are really coming out to hurt her, and I think
it should.
Well, I think it's going to. I don't think she's going to be the front runner. But who's thinking about coming in right now?
I mean, this is all about that cabal thing. Still, like what's his name, Snowden. He actually didn't really let out secrets. It was well-known stuff. He just let it be known to the public,
okay.
right?
Right.
Her stuff is actual secrets that was classified, that got reclassified under somehow and then sold out of her emails.
Right.
Which is worse. And this, she gets to run for president, and this dude gets, high treason or whatever.
Yeah. Let's just hope that. Well, I'm not going to tell you where I'm going with who I'm voting for, but
I'm not voting.
Well, no, I just find it really interesting that Trump is really kicking some butt out there, and it's like we've never had this before. It's either
right.
It's like I would have never thought this guy would actually run for president, but so I don't think he's going to become president.
I think he has a really good shot.
Well,
I wouldn't want him as a president, but you know what? This is where I don't want none of the. None of the Republicans or the Democrats.
Let me tell you something.
They all suck. They work for the cabal. They're all bought and paid for.
Right. Now, let's just say, for example, if Trump does get the nod and becomes the front runner for the Republican side, it's going to depend on his cabinet, on where I'm going to go.
Right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because a lot of times, the president is really not the person calling the shots.
Exactly.
It's the people that back him up in the cabinet that are the people
His
that you
party.
really need to look at.
Yeah.
All right, so that's where you should go with this. You know, if Trump gets it, well, so be. Then he gets it. Then let's find out who he's going to make for the vice president, secretary of state, secretary of defense, and go from there. I already saw a and the Surgeon General. I already saw a mock thing where he might get Ted Cruz to be vice president. He might get the Secretary of State would be Fiona, the female who's running for president. She becomes Secretary of State. The Secretary of Defense, I forgot who it would be, but the Surgeon General would be that other black guy who's actually a doctor. So I could see those guys being in the cabinet. I looked at that and I'm going, whoa, that's pretty good. Okay. So, you know, again, we're not going to know until.
You mean the ones that he was, debating the other day?
Yeah.
Those guys some of those guys on the stage would be his guys.
That's what people were saying. If Trump got the nod, and he was the front runner, if he were to get these guys in the order, like I just said, Secretary of State, Vice President,
Right.
Secretary of Defense, that would make a really good cabinet, depending, if you're a Democrat or Republican. I don't know.
What happens if the aliens come back and say that they created us next month and saving, and they even
That's
don't
a
even,
whole different show right there, brother.
and they don't even go for the like you guys have to have. We're going to give you a president. We're actually setting it up. We created you, so now you worship this thing.
Well, God, also, it's right about that same time now where the whole chip, the chip in our bodies are going to come into effect. Because what if there's a new world order and a one world currency? The only way that everybody will be able to keep up on what's going on is a barcode of some type or a chip in your body.
Well, this new chip, I was just reading about it, adds 500 years to your life. That's amazing. I mean, who would turn that down?
Let me tell you something.
I would, because I want my head to stay right here.
Let me tell you something. If that would,
Or no.
if that
I'll
came
lose
out,
my head over it.
if that came out, that means they have known about this type of cure for a number of years. Many people are going to be upset because their loved one 2 months ago just died, and you're telling me you had the freaking cure for this cancer, and you just are now telling us about it. Like something that I didn't bring up, the cannabis oil that just came out. That it's actually been out there, but now it's really getting out there to where the cannabis oil, marijuana oil, that causes certain cancers.
Well, they've been trying to keep people from letting that out. They've been killing doctors.
Oh yeah, they've been
to keep the cancer cure and all that stuff
because
out of the paper
because it's
bad for their business.
Exactly, pharmaceutical would go down if we could find a cure for everything. You know how many billions and trillions of dollars pharmaceutical companies make for a pill?
How bad pharmaceuticals is.
Okay,
I'm not
Alan's going to show you pills here and how
you know
much.
How bad they are?
What? Drugs, baby.
Or you die.
This is the stuff he takes every day, guys.
Some of them twice a day.
And
I mean that's
and
like,
I bet a
that's
pill
every day.
I bet a pill. What's the most expensive? Do you know how much?
I could find out, but some of them are like 300 and something, but
it's not per pill, but per bottle, per order, or a refill, or
yeah.
I mean,
I only pay like $1 something.
Right.
Per,
Now I've there are, I don't want to say cancer curing pills, but there are some pills that are actually really good for cancer patients that people are taking that are $1,000 a pill.
Right, yeah.
$1,000 a pill, guys.
There's some people that have the disease I have that need shots. Mm-hmm. They're $5,000 a shot. Man, when I was in there, the stent, the heart stent,
right,
$50,000. How much it cost to put the heart stent, to do the endarterectomy on the femoral artery, right? $39,000.
And how long?
That's got a scar like that big,
right? And how long does it take to put a stent in?
It only took. I was in there a half hour for that, maybe. I was in the operating room for this one for Oh man, 6 hours or
Right,
something
right.
for the one on the leg.
Wow, $50,000 for a half hour.
Yeah, so almost $100,000 for the last month for me in the hospital.
Right.
And they even messed with me. But I can't talk about it.
No, because you don't want to get sued.
Right.
And then this show would go down, so shut up.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, you guys, we're just about done. My voice is gone. Can you tell? I'm losing it. I better find it for next week.
It is all about the money. And
Yeah.
I hope they all go down. We got
How much more time?
3 minutes.
3 minutes left. So, okay, my screen is, like I said, my screen is down. So as soon as you hear the word music, you tell me, and I will hit music. So, all right, you know what? I haven't had so much fun in a long time.
This one was fun.
This one was fun. You know why? Because the Bigfoots. When people are, when you have people on the phone talking about real life stories that they encountered, literally from the horse's mouth, and I'm going with that. I'm going to say that.
I'm going to go Bigfooting with them.
Oh my God. You know, that's awesome. That's what I want to have on the show, you guys. Even on the TV show, I want to bring people on here who have stories like that. So you can see it in their, you can
We
hear
should
it.
bring them in here.
You can hear it in their voice. You can see it in their eyes, and scare the crap out of you for the next time you go camping. Because if that doesn't scare you, I don't know what will. And he's been going up there not thinking that, oh, Bigfoots are nice little furry animals.
Right, yeah.
Wait a minute. Let me get the...
2 minutes.
I have to say about that is wrong answer. Bigfoots are not fun and furry animals. So you guys need to be careful when you guys go camping. Even if you're in a campground with other families, all right, watch your kids. Please watch your kids. And don't go hiking. Don't let your kids go up wandering around the side of the hill by themselves. Don't do it, guys. I'm telling you right now, don't do it. All right? I'm not saying that, they're going to, be attacked by Bigfoots, but you have bears and you have cougars, and they're hungry. They are absolutely hungry. Hey, I can see you right here. So that's cool.
Oh, you can see it?
Okay, 2 minutes, right? That's what he said?
It says 1:30.
Oh, so I didn't get that one.
1 minute.
Okay. All right, you guys. I hope you guys had a blast. I did. This was a really cool show tonight.
We had some really fun chat, too, you guys. The chat was great.
Okay, because I can't
And
see chat.
I
I'm
heard
too
that
busy
Dark
doing
Matter
stuff.
was, like, off the hook tonight.
Absolutely.
Love it. You guys love you.
All right.
I'm glad
All right.
you guys are here for
Well,
us.
we will be here
We'll
next
try and
Sunday,
be here for
and
you
we're going to try to
always.
do it again. We're going to try to bring you some killer stuff like today.
A really big shoe.
I want you guys to come back again. Tell your friends about us, because we are climbing the ladder, and it looks like we're not going to be falling down anytime soon, not unless they take us out.
I nailed the ladder up.
So all right. So how much time we got?
Any second he's going to say.
All
music.
right. For Jeffrey Gonzalez and Ellen Thomas and Danny Valderrama, and next week probably have Heidi Hollis. I want to thank you for showing up wherever you may be that you've been listening and watching Paranormal Central on live stream and on the Dark Matter Digital Network at artbell.com. They are archived on live stream.
Music.
And
Good night, all my little grandkids in Indiana.
And you can go and re-listen to the podcast at Dark Matter Digital Network. Good night, everybody. See you next week. Bye.
You have been listening to Paranormal Central with Jeffrey Gonzalez and Alan Thomas. Broadcasting worldwide at paranormalcentral.net and on artbell.com. Stay tuned for next time. Remember to keep your eyes to the skies. And we hope you witness something you cannot explain.